Hello, it's me,
Hi.
Amo.
Adele?
It's me. Welcome to the first of many Candlekeep Mysteries Longshots slash one shots. Tonight specifically is going to be a one shot with our lovely Zach and Emily joining us for the first one, but it's technically not the first one because we're going to do these out of order. So we're going to be going through the Candlekeep Mysteries, but not in chronological order. So we're going to be jumping around, playing at different points of these characters' lives and seeing what happens and making references to stuff that may or may not have actually happened, and we'll roll with it as it gets there.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, unless there's anything else, I can jump right in and set the scene.
Let's do it.
Where we're gonna
I'm
start.
excited.
All right.
Our faces are so large because there's so much more room on the screen. So much more room for activities.
Gestures.
I know, right? All right, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. So as I said, this is not the group's first adventure with partnering with Candlekeep. This is actually the fourth. So on 3 separate occasions before now in time, these two and also a mysterious other to be determined people have been adventuring and helping Candlekeep out with various different quests, missions, whatever you'd like to be called. So each of you.
Oh, we should definitely be the ones to name it since it's just the two of us.
I'm like, yeah, does this mean that Zach and I get to name the whole party?
Sorry, J-Mo, sorry.
This is our first one. Name the party. We'll have that when we get to Candlekeep. And just be like,
all right.
I'm tired of always, not having a name for you guys. Since you guys are here, what's the name? So we'll get to that when we get to Candlekeep.
Right.
Amazing.
So each of you are going about your kind of day-to-day lives in Baldur's Gate, whatever that might be. When you hear a familiar voice pop in your head, clearly this is not the first time. It doesn't really surprise you besides just hearing a voice suddenly in your head. And you hear Tellus, who I'll say a little bit more about later. But you hear Tellus saying, "We need you back at Candlekeep. There's another thing that we need your help on." And that's it. You don't get any more information. Again, since this isn't your first time, that means, okay, I have to pack up and head to a designated meet spot that previously our group has determined. Whenever you get the message from Tellus, that's where you head. So you guys start heading to kind of the southernmost point of Baldur's Gate, which is just kind of the last little sector, town, village, whatever you might call it, section of Baldur's Gate, just before you actually start and leave the district. It's called Rivington. There's a tavern there, so you both, at your leisure, after you've packed up, knowing that it's probably going to be a long trip, meet there, see each other, and wait for the rest of your party. If you'll take this time to go ahead and describe your characters to each other, as we'll say, Zach, your character arrives first. So you walk into the tavern, and what would people see as you walk into this tavern?
All right, so the doors open up to the tavern, and the click-clacking of claws hits the ground as a dragonborn walks in the room. About 6'5", even in the with the lantern light or torch light or however this is lit, the light glints off of his brass scales, somewhat dulled. At this point, he's in his older years, but middle-aged, maybe a little bit over middle-aged, but you wouldn't know it by looking at him. Lean with muscle. He wears long leather, dark, burnt orange robes, and a sash that kind of like ties it all together in the middle. On his back, you see a spear kind of poking out above his head that has a little bit of the same cloth kind of tied around and hanging off the end, like Steven Tyler's mic, but as a spear. And,
we need fan art for
that. His hood is currently up over his head, but his long dragon-like snout does stick out. And his name is Ryvar BrassScales. And he would just I walk up to just the nearest empty table, sit down, and just wait for them, as I always do. Don't necessarily, especially because now that we're about to adventure, he's in focus mode, and so he's not having any ale. He just sits down and immediately starts observing, just waiting.
Great. You currently don't see anyone you recognize in the tavern besides maybe a few folks that you'd seen in there before, just as, the locals that come there often.
Yeah.
You probably wait a good 10, 15 minutes. No one else shows up until the doors open and you see a small tabaxi enter. Emily, if you'll describe your character.
Yeah. So Opal walks in, and she has very flowy, like off-white robes. They're not a pure white, but not quite tan, and has her hood up at first. You probably hear the click-clack of claws as well, and people would turn probably expecting to see the same thing. And she takes her hood down, and she is a tabaxi who would have black fur if she had any fur, but she's hairless. And she kind of self-consciously takes the hood off. She definitely keeps it up outside just to avoid like unwanted attention, but she comes in the tavern, she knows where she is. And does she see Ryvar right away?
Unless you're tucked away in a back table.
No, I would definitely.
So.
Yeah, and I'm keeping an eye out, so I just you just hear a very similar.
Walk over and sit down, but a little bit more maybe properly than anybody in this tavern is.
Opal, I cannot tell you how happy I am to see you. Actually, someone of competence is going to be joining us this time. That's very good to hear.
Where are the others?
Oh, it's just you and me so far. I'm sure more are coming.
Okay. Well, like you said, the two most competent ones, so they can come or not.
At least the two most on time.
Am I late? You were here before me.
No, I'm just always early.
Good for you.
Thank you. So, do you want a drink or anything? I'm not partaking myself, but I'll get you one if you would like one.
I'd have to tell you this every time, but I don't drink. I appreciate the offer.
Right, yes, okay,
always,
of course.
But,
yeah, it's nothing personal. I don't really remember much about most people.
No, that's perfectly okay.
Okay. Well, at least I'm. Go ahead. Yeah,
I was gonna say more awkward conversation.
Yes, exactly. Don't make us keep doing it.
And you guys probably give it a good 45, almost an hour of just like hoping that someone else is gonna walk through that door, and just you get to the point where you're like, well, gotta do it, gotta head. It's a couple days travel, so you already all packed up and ready, coming from the other parts of Baldur's Gate, so you head on your way.
Yep.
It's a well-traveled route, so there's not going to be any encounters, nothing crazy. You have your rations, so we're not going to roll for anything crazy on this adventure to Candlekeep, because it's a merchant route.
Yeah.
No big things happen. So after
probably make good time,
days,
just the two of us.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. So we'll say it probably makes, if you'll add a decent pace, which you can probably push the horses a little bit longer, ride a little bit longer in the day.
No.
You easily make it within 4 days.
Nice.
So you probably arrive in the early afternoon on the 4th day and just camped just kind of outside the gate, so you get a jump start on the day as a new day.
Great.
And you arrive at the known and large gates of Candlekeep. It is, despite being a library, it is a very well guarded and well kept town. And so you walk up to the gates, you know the drill. Usually you would have to present a book to donate, but since you're there on business more than anything, the front guard stops you as usual and says, book or state your business, please.
We have business here with, what was the name again? I'm sorry.
Tellus is
Tellus. We have business with Tellus.
Okay, it kind of looks at you guys. Okay, hold on 1 second. He goes
Every
away.
time. I'm a pretty noticeable guy. I don't understand.
The two of us together, you would think it would.
Maybe more people come in. I'm here than I think.
Maybe.
You guys wait probably only like 5 minutes as he comes. Another guard is still there, just kind of watches you casually, not on guard or anything like that, just kind of waiting, not threatening. And the first guard returns, says, "All right, check with the gate warden. You guys are good. We'll take you to the Great Library. That's where Tellus said to meet you guys." So
I love the library.
it's great. So follow me, and they kind of he takes you on. One guard joins from the rear, leaving kind of only one guard at the post at the moment.
Okay.
But they take you to the Great Library. You walk through Candlekeep as a town. You pass the baths. You pass the housing. It's a full town, but the centerpiece of this town is this great library, which consists of several towers that are just soaring up and so grand. And as if the first time seeing it, you are still blown away by the sheer beauty and greatness of this library. Opal, especially, I think you always are in awe every time you visited, despite being there a couple of times, just taken aback by the sheer beauty. Once you get to more of the kind of eastmost tower, another familiar face is there to greet you. You see Sprig Summerfoot. Sprig is one of the avowed at the library, wearing the avowed purple robe. Sprig is a young halfling that you know uses they, them pronouns, always has some sort of snack in their pocket, always has a question to ask you guys, and always just seems excited, happy to be there. Just the cutest little thing you could ever see. Sprig, standing there with a big smile, even when you're still like 20 feet away, just starts waving at you guys.
I wave, and as I always do when I see Sprig, I expectantly throw out my hand, waiting for him to throw me my share of whatever snack that he's having.
They dig into their pocket and pull out this like little light-colored square that's almost like a little lemon biscuit, and just chuck it at you, and it kind of goes like most of the way. You have to kind of rush forward to grab it. They don't have the best of arms, so they just kind of chuck it at you.
Sprig, thank you so much. I've been waiting to have one of these. I throw it up and catch it.
The new recipe, they're my new lemon bars, and I think I really got it really good this time. I think this is the winner. So what do you think? Is it good? Is it what?
Sprig, each time I tell you it's the best thing I've ever had. And somehow I come back the next time and I see you and it's even better. I mean,
that's what makes you the master. I mean, nobody compares to you when it comes to snacks.
Thanks, guys.
They are the snack master.
Thanks. Opal, do you want one?
Kind of tousle their hair.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And they give you one and kind of.
He very delicately takes like a bite of it and puts away the rest for later.
Sprig kind of waves away the guards and says, "Okay, I got it," and starts shuffling away, always kind of in a rush as well.
Yeah.
But has small feet, so you can keep up without issue, even though they seem to be rushing and scuttling about. So Sprig takes you through the Great Library, specifically the East Tower, and weaves through all of these tall bookshelves. In this tower, each level of the tower reaches probably still about 30 feet. These are just huge, gigantic rooms filled with bookshelves and central spires of books, just books as far as the eye can see. And you see other avowed in various places in their purple robes, putting books back, cataloging. A couple are at desks scribing new books, just at work. You also notice that some are on these cool floating discs, and that's how they get to the highest most shelves in this 30-foot tall room. And having come here a lot, there are some very powerful mages, very powerful magic that are the keepers of these books. So it's not surprising to see that you're not like, wow. And it's probably not the avowed that conjured this disc, but a lot of magic. There's ever lit candles that are lighting your pathway. And you also see one avowed with a small, kind of medium-sized mechanical being that has very thin, tiny legs and wings and a big round torso that are kind of just handing books from a cart to an avowed that's on a ladder, putting them back. And it's not the first time you've seen them, but there are a couple of them scattered about these towers of the Great Library, so you do notice them on occasion. And eventually you get to your destination. Sprig takes you to a far back study room. That is an empty room with a large table, can seat probably about 8. And Sprig gestures you inside and says, "Oh well, this is where we're supposed to meet Tellis. I don't know where she is yet, but I'm sure she knows you're here and will be here soon. So,
all right, thank you, Sprig.
Wait, is it just you guys for this one?
Looking like it. No, but don't worry, we're the best.
Oh yeah, of course, of course, you guys are okay. Well, what?
You all right, Sprig?
Been up to? This seemed like an urgent thing, and I'm a little.
Have you heard anything about what is going on?
Oh no, they don't tell me anything. Just that you guys are coming back, and there's a new task that needs to be done and helped with.
They should trust you more.
I mean, I think I'm very trustworthy, but
I agree.
We'll see.
You'll prove yourself in time, Sprig.
Thanks. And he just kind of leans against the doorway, or they lean against the doorway and start kind of munching on another lemon bar. And just kind of awkwardly wait.
Yeah, I mean, Ryvar's very impatiently waiting. I would say he actually, you know what? No, let me recant that. New character. He's very patiently waiting, actually. Maybe on the inside, he's, you know, a little bit more frustrated. Probably the only thing it manifests itself in is just like a pretty consistent click of the claws. Oh no. Oh no, indeed. What just happened?
I don't know.
Oh gosh. Okay, well, we're all over the place on the Zoom. Oh wait, there we go. I think we're back. Hello?
Can you hear us?
Can I hear you?
Can you hear us?
We can hear you.
I can't hear you. Why can't I hear you?
What is going on?
Now that you've
rejoined. Oh wait, you can't hear us.
I don't think so.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna go off camera here for just a second, and we will. What?
I got it.
You're here?
I got it though.
Okay. All right, 2 sessions in a row.
I'm sorry.
This happened yesterday too.
Weird.
That's weird. Did I get another call?
You did, yeah. I think I just need to disconnect my laptop from your phone.
Yeah, I don't even have a missed call on my phone.
Weird.
Strange. Sorry, everybody.
Sorry.
We're back though. So yeah, it probably only just the impatientness just kind of probably manifests itself in just like a clicking of the claws as he just waits.
Yep. Opal, is there anything you'll do while you wait?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Oh.
Who left? Why are we waiting?
So eventually you get brought to a study room kind of at the back of the library. Sprig says this is where you'll meet Tellis, but she should be here soon. They don't know exactly how long, and they don't have any other information as to what's happening besides just bringing you here.
Do we typically like wait a few minutes when we get here?
I would say the first couple, when you've been called, you usually are brought to a room and then kind of have to have that like debrief basically.
Okay.
So this isn't an odd thing. It's usually a different study room or a different tower, just depending on what the situation is.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and I don't know if you caught it, but Sprig, they were acting like worried. They said that Tellis was like she was being real.
Yeah, she
worried.
was being a little impatient
Yeah.
about like getting this going, getting this started. So.
Would I have been able to just like absentmindedly grabbed a book on the walk-in, like knowing we were gonna have to sit and wait?
On the walk-in, probably not.
Or in the room.
I was gonna say in the room, there's probably like a stack of books that are like to be put back on shelves from various people bringing books to the study and reading them, and then just dropping them because they can't remember what shelf it was put on. And so I'm sure that there's like another little cart that you can just pick up a book, and it's not an odd thing. So Sprig doesn't stop you from just picking up a book and reading.
Opal probably pretty excitedly sits down to read and will take as much time as she is given to read before we have to start whatever this shit show is about to be.
Sprig is on probably their second lemon bar from sitting here. It's probably only about 5 minutes. It's not actually that long, but just like it feels long sitting there waiting, and for Opal
because
it
we're all
actually
in
probably
silence.
feels short because you're like into this book. But in a flurry of motion, you see Sprig kind of hop out of the way and let Tellus enter the study room, followed by another person as well. Tellus, as you know, her last name is, what is it? Avast. So Tellus Avast enters the room. You know that she is a great reader, which is denoted by a dark green colored robe. You know that usually the colors of the robes denote basically the role, the kind of level of worker they are at this great library. The avowed being more of the apprentice, and then the great readers usually being experts on a certain thing in the library. So from your past experiences, you know that Tellus is an expert on magical items, curses, and things of that nature. So she enters. She is an elf woman, very to the point, short with her words. And that's about all you know about her. She's not one for small talk, despite having met her multiple times. And she has on her long ears a lot of gold jewelry and piercings that are connected by various gold chains, and a lot of gold accents across her robes. Just very well kept, well presented, holds herself high. And so she briskly enters the room. Behind her is a halfling man with kind of long brunette hair pulled back in a very tight and neat bun. He also has a dark green robe, less decadent, but still very nice, very well kept. He doesn't wear a lot of jewelry. He's kind of more laid back, you could say, compared to Tellus. And as Tellus just bursts into the room and enters, she says, "Oh, good you're here. All right. Well, we do have another task for you all. This is Feminor Scrivenback. I can never remember. Scrivenback, yes. Yeah, it's Scrivenback, but it's close enough. Yes, thank you. He is another great reader here, specializing in history and folklore. And we were contacted recently about a town that's up near, in the south, near the mountains. And basically, the whole village and town went missing or vanished. And there was a mining organization there that is interested in starting the mine up, but first wants to know what happened. We did find a book that was written about what happened there, and based on the book, we think that this is a job for someone or a group more skilled in adventuring, but it's just the two of you for this one.
Yes, we decided that with a mission of such importance, we should send the two most capable.
That's fair. I do think you might need one. Sprig, would you go ask the gate warden if they can spare anyone to help these people? Oh, yes, of course. And Sprig just scurries off, back out the way you came, until it turns back to you guys. So yes, the town is called Familion. Like I said, everyone disappeared from that, and we're just trying to figure out what happened. So we'd like you to go investigate.
The entire town gone.
Not the entire town, some escaped, but those that didn't vanished.
Right.
Have you talked to the ones who did escape to find out what happened exactly?
Yes, Feminor. I can't even say it. Feminor.
Feminor, okay.
Feminor. There we go. Feminor. Yes, he's read the book that I spoke of, and please let them know what you've discovered. And he's been kind of cuddling a book to his chest, and he scurries forward and puts it on the table in front of you. And I'll give you the little visual. It's a pretty basic book. There's not too many. Show to everyone. It's not very elaborate. It is a simple leather-bound book with gold inscription on the end that is titling the book "A Deep and Creeping Darkness." He kind of lays the book down and says, "Yes, it seems that a bard decided to a traveling bard was curious about what happened in this village and traveled and supposedly got firsthand accounts of what happened, but I'm not sure how many facts are actually in this book. But basically, it was a pretty prosperous mining town that mined platinum, actually. And were doing pretty well for themselves until one day the mine collapsed, unfortunately, trapping a lot of the miners. They were only able to rescue probably about a third of them. The rest they either never got to and were presumed dead or dead upon the collapse. So that was a pretty dark stain on the town. And then after that is when the vanishing started happening. So the collapse, it started with those that actually were rescued from the mine. They started to vanish in the night, usually a week or two between each vanishing. And sometimes it was one, sometimes it was two, always during the night. And it could be as quick as turning a corner and someone followed them around the corner and they weren't there. So very mysterious, very strange. Those that tried to escape were for the most part successful. We think it was pretty centralized in this town. No one vanished that escaped the town. And this was probably about 70 years ago. So there's not too many that remember the events or were there. From this book and also other research, I was able to determine that there is someone that was very young when all of this was happening, and someone that seems to be old enough to have been there when all of this was happening. And they're at a nearby village called Marin. And so that's kind of where we recommend to maybe start. Maybe asking them some questions. And then actually at the back of this book, which you can't take, but if you want a copy, we actually made a copy of the map that's at the back of this book that tells you where Marin is and where this mining town was and the mine respectively.
So we can't have this book?
No, you can't.
We would like the copy of the map, please.
Yes,
Definitely.
here. And he slides a parchment close to you guys that is almost an identical copy of what you see in the book as he flips to it.
My only question is, what is the rush on this? Why are we investigating something that happened 70 years ago?
Well, we fear that whatever happened there could happen elsewhere. It seems that it happened and no one really made a big stink about it, but by these stories, our great readers believe that it is something that could spread, and Marin, the town of Marin, is likely in danger. Despite it being so long, it's very possible that this could spread to Marin and beyond. And so we, sooner rather than later, would like it kind of nipped in the bud, you know?
Can I roll an insight check to just see? It's not that I don't think he's telling the truth, but to just see if there's any other intent or if it truly is just like, this was a messed up thing, we gotta figure it out. Can I roll an insight check to figure it out?
Definitely.
I similarly roll an insight check, but to specifically see if he's leaving out any information.
Yes.
Mine was a 17.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. 10. I rolled a 3. I have a plus 7.
Damn.
Yikes. Opal to start because it's fast. He seems truthful. He seems like he's giving all the information. He's not holding everything back, not being awkward about hitting any facts or anything like that. Zach, you see he's talking a little faster, but it doesn't seem like it's because of he feels any urgency. Since this is his expertise, he just enjoys talking about it.
Yeah.
And so he's just enjoying telling the story and kind of like telling the information and telling the details of what happened, because this is kind of a did it happen, didn't happen.
Yeah.
But it seems Tellis is a little bit more like, let's go. Like, I think she seems a little bit more concerned about it and like kind of tapping her foot of like, no, we need to figure this out. Let's go, you know? So she seems to kind of be the driver of this. Seems like something we really need to go to now and figure out and not let it just be.
Has anybody been back to this town in the last 70 years?
There have been some people, because it was a platinum mine. It seems that others have returned to the town, whether to loot it or whether to check on it, not knowing what happened, or to maybe try to open the mine again. but unfortunately, none of those people have returned. There's been no reports of someone going there and coming back, I think, except maybe one or two, but they seemed shaken up about something. So it wasn't a good thing that they went there either way.
Right. I would say with hearing that, at least for Ryvar, he just folds up the map, puts it in his cloak, and stands up.
Let's go get some more information, shall we?
Mirren, let's head to Mirren.
Great. Well, I have not seen Sprig return, but they likely will tell whoever is accompanying you to meet you at the front gate, as that's probably where they're stationed or can easily get to. So I'll have another avowed escort you out so you don't get lost here. But yes, if you can go, and whatever means of, if you would like a crow to send us messages and updates, that's fine. But otherwise, we will see you upon your return with whatever information you can provide.
All right. Ryvar just business as usual, just walks out.
Yep,
Great.
same.
You can tell that Tellus probably likes Ryvar the best because he doesn't have to do any small talk.
Yeah.
So Tellus and Feminor leave you to it. They motion at a recent avow that's putting books back on the shelves, and they hustle over and lead you out the way Sprig took you, and will actually take you all the way back to the front gate, where you see Sprig and also a very decked out in armor, glaive and shield in hand, ready to go, Aasimar, who you wouldn't really know is an Aasimar, except they look very human, except when the sun touches her skin just right, it's kind of rainbowy. It just adds this extra little glimmer that you're just like, oh, okay. So you might not know Aasimars. I'll leave you to knowing if that. But yeah, she stands at the ready. Sprig kind of is like looking at her like, wow, this is cool. Like, oh, look at her in school. As you guys walk up, and already has 2 lemon bars out and ready to give to you guys for the road. And it's just like, well, I assume you guys are on your way, yeah?
Correct. Hello, I'm Ryvar. Yeah, he says as he like throws in the lemon bar to the new person.
Opal.
Good to meet you all. My name is Wayla, and I'm here to help you with whatever this mission is. I don't have a lot of information. Don't need a lot of information. Honestly, just here to make sure you guys get back here in one piece.
Well, if we need anyone to
Great.
wail on somebody, we'll ask you, Wayla.
Definitely. I liked that one. That
Good
was
one.
good.
That was
Good joke.
Great joke.
Sorry, it's
What
just
an
like...
entertaining
All right. Well, it looks like we're heading to the village of Mirren. Wayla, have you ever been here before?
No, but I have heard of it, and I have studied maps a lot. I mean, we have a lot of downtime here, and it's just maps and books. So that's usually what I look at. I know it's south near the mountains, so we can start there and probably find our way pretty easily.
All right. Let us know if we're going the wrong way. The Mirren it is. Hey, Sprig.
Yeah. What's up?
Keep that chin up, okay?
I will. And they kind of like set back their shoulders and like walk proudly back to the tower. All right, you guys make your way to Mirren. Again, similar to your previous travel. It's common route. You don't have to really do any through the forest, back trails, anything like that. So you won't come across anything crazy this time. So you're able to make your way to Mirren, and the 2 names that they had and that I forgot to give you are the 2 names to look for.
So there's 2 people alive.
Yeah, so they said there's 2 people. There's one that was likely there and could remember, so probably an older person, and one that was maybe pretty young when it happened and might not remember a lot, but is from that town.
Oh, okay,
so you kind of have those 2 options.
Cool.
Where? There it is. So you have Lucas Grosvenor. That's Grosvenor. And it's gross, not gross. I've just decided. and Astra Vorn are the two names. They weren't sure which is which. They just had those names, and that's about it.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So we're at the village. We're here.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
like I said, you guys can pretty much make it there
For
without
sure.
too much difficulty.
Yeah.
There's not a map for it, but it's pretty small mountain village. So some trade and commerce happens there. They have a nearby mine of their own, not platinum by any means, so they're not like a rich town, but there is a little mine, some trade. It's just a small mountain village, kind of right at the base of the start of the mountains.
Do we see any people walking around?
Yeah, it's not like a hustling and bustling village, but it should be easy to stop someone. There's no, seems like a town guard anywhere. It's a small enough village that it's doesn't really have that even, but you see just some townsfolk walking around that you could easily stop and ask questions to.
Yeah, I think I would stop probably like who the nearest like middle-aged looking individual.
Okay.
And I was like, excuse me, hello, I'm sorry to bother you.
Oh, no problem at all. And you see this middle-aged human carrying just kind of like a basket full of stuff, like they just were out shopping and bringing their wares back to their house.
Well, I won't keep you for long. We are new in town and we are looking for some associates of ours. Do you happen to know where a Lucas Grosvenor is?
I don't know about that last name. I'm sorry, I'm having a little trouble with your
Lucas
accent.
Grosvenor is where Lucas Grosvenor is.
Yes. Oh, okay. Now I follow. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. So Lucas actually owns the Board Weasel, which is the tavern and inn here.
Wonderful.
So if you just continue down this road, it'll be like a couple buildings on your right once you get closer to the center of town.
Wonderful. And we're just also looking for a friend, Astra Vorn.
Astra Vorn
Would be a older individual.
Older? You know what? I don't know if I know an Astra. I'm sorry. I don't think I can help you with that one.
No worries.
Maybe Lucas can help us.
Yeah.
Maybe perhaps. Lucas knows. Lucas has been here for a while. He knows everybody. I can tell you.
Oh, is Lucas older?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Definitely.
Wonderful.
But still spring in his step, So
yes.
He's a good one though.
Perhaps Lucas can help us out. Thank you so much, and I just kind of like
thank you.
Reach out my hand and just kind of like give them a silver piece as I.
Oh, thank you so much. Wow. Okay, well stay as long as you like in our town. I hope to see you again.
Wonderful. Yes.
Hobbles off.
As soon as they walk away, his like smile just fades.
Right. You're very good at that.
Thank you. To the brown weasel?
Yes, sure.
The brown weasel, is that it?
Is it the Board Weasel?
Yeah.
The Board Weasel. It doesn't seem like a very good name for a tavern. I don't want to go into a tavern and be bored.
I thought. Well, yeah, I can't think of anything better. Let's go. Head that way.
You make your way to the center of town. You can find it pretty easily. It very much is kind of those old English taverns have. They have a sign that say the Board Weasel, and also, ironically, a picture of like a weasel sleeping. So you can
see. This is what I'm saying.
It is kind of cute, though.
Yes.
From the outside, it looks kind of just like you're. Not really like run down, but not high class inn, just really mid range.
Yeah. How long have we? How long have we traveled from like Candlekeep to here?
So.
Just curious.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I believe.
Excuse me, goodness.
So Candlekeep from like Baldur's Gate to Candlekeep to the mountains. Candlekeep is about midway, so it probably took you another 3-4 days.
Okay.
Probably closer to 3 since Marion's kind of at the like tip of the mountain range.
Okay, cool.
And then you'll have to kind of go a little bit farther to get to the next.
So, especially since we've probably traveled this much or that much together at this point, almost like it's a bit now that that Ryvar just like looks at Wayla knowing what the response is going to be as we're walking to the board weasel, and I just look over and say, Wayla, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be bored.
Always, it's a gold. It's not much, but it's a nugget every time of genius.
Yeah, it's always true.
And yeah, we just walk in.
The three of you entered the board weasel. You can see, as most inns have, it has kind of a nice little dining area, a bar, a menu kind of hanging over the bar with very simple, basic food, with a special that seems like it's always the special of a nice fish soup surprise. And otherwise it has, some it has some breads and your kind of basic, some mead, but
there's no
not a
walker
lot
near
in
here.
the menu.
I'll walk up to the counter.
I will say you're so close to the coast.
Okay.
Candlekeep's on the coast.
Gotcha.
kind of
Okay, gotcha.
directly south.
Yeah.
So like it's
But
like
still, the
right
fish
on
traveled a
that
few
tip.
days.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's not like fresh fish,
Yeah.
but somehow it's the special. So.
Yeah, amazing. Because they kind of get rid of it as soon as they get it. Sorry, yeah. I would say like we probably have like an established, like, don't even need to say it. I go and immediately grab an empty table, and Opal goes up to the bar.
Do you have a typical drink, or do you not drink?
I don't drink on missions.
Okay.
So Opal goes up and does the talking while Ryvar sits back and like. One, keeps an eye out for safety reasons, but also sees if anyone else is drawn to the fact that she's talking to this individual.
Cool. And
out of normal, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And Wayla just sits kind of across from Ryvar to look at everything from like the opposite direction and just like
we're just like we're it looks like we're looking at each other, but we're looking just past each other.
Past, and you're just like,
honestly, Ryvar probably like loves working with Wayla because it's just like it's just professional. Like this whole thing with this whole thing with Opal and Ryvar is just like, yeah, we don't have that many people, but we don't have all the goofballs that we normally have.
Yeah, we're like, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I just kind of watch as Opal approaches.
Cool. Opal, as you approach the bar, you see a very old gentleman behind the bar that is just slowly moving and cleaning up one spot with a rag, kind of shakes the rag off, tosses it over his shoulder, and just like moving at a snail's pace of just like, that's probably just as fast as he can move. Like he's not like making a point. He's just old.
He's just old.
Just old.
He is a human with just kind of a tuft of white hair right on top. Not necessarily that he like shaved around it. It's just very balding, and for some reason the very top of his head he's just let grown and it kind of sticks straight up in kind of curly afro form. He is African American, pretty dark skin, and just going about various bar keeping tasks, but at a very slow pace. And as you walk up, hey there.
Hello, sir.
Don't think we've seen a lot of your kind out here. How's it going? What can I do for you?
Well, I have 2 questions for you. First of all, 2. Can you handle 2?
Yeah, hit me with the first one first.
What is the surprise?
Well, if I told you, it wouldn't be a surprise, would it?
I thought that might be the answer. We'll take some bread over there, I think.
Okay, and he just starts to turn and slowly
wait, one
make
more.
his. Right, 2
no, that's okay.
questions. Okay.
Doing your job.
Yeah.
Are you Lucas?
Last time I checked, that was my name.
Would you have any interest in just coming and taking a break with my friends and I over there?
Well, I am
look like you could use a break.
open currently and the only one here. But if you want to take a seat at the bar top, I could probably talk while I help other fine customers as they come up.
That sounds lovely. Why don't you just leave our bread here, and maybe we'll take some water.
Okay.
and we'll be right back.
Great. All right.
Thank
I'll
you,
get that
Lucas.
for you right now. And he
And
just
I'll
keeps
head over to
talking
the
as he
table.
slowly walks away and kind of goes to the other side and starts getting the bread and your water and has it set up. And probably you all gather and collect at the bar before he even like turns back with your stuff to set it down.
I'll tell the two of them. I decided against the fish for all of us. Does that seem like a good decision? I can't hear you.
I was not going to eat that fish.
Good. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
that is Lucas, and he will talk to us.
Great.
Wonderful.
We'll make our way back up to the bar.
Oh, at the bar.
10 minutes later.
Bread and water.
Hello, my good sir.
Oh, hello. And you know what? You said Opal was your name. I think you introduced yourself to me.
I don't think I did, but my name is Opal.
And
that's
I'm
are
a
you
really
magic?
good guess of names sometimes. I think your
try
name
that
might
one. What's
be
his name?
Ryan. Is you look like Orion to me.
Nailed it.
Great. And I'm feeling Susan for you over here.
Yeah, again, nailed it. Wonderful. Ryan, Susan, and Opal.
Great. Well, it's great to meet you all. Here's your water and here's your bread. Are you sure you don't want to try the special or something else that we got?
Oh, we'll save it for your
on?
other very hungry customers.
Okay. Well, you said you had more than those two questions for me. So
yeah.
I'm assuming
what can I do for you?
Very respectfully, I'm assuming a man of your age appreciates not beating around the bush, getting to the finer points and things. Don't have time.
Well, I gotta say I do like some small talk sometimes, but I also know a lot of the people that come in here don't have time for that. And so they say, hey, Lucas, I gotta run. And sometimes you just gotta cut someone off if they're doing that, you know?
Right. Sorry for assuming. You know what they say. So how's your day?
It's been good. It's been pretty busy.
Sorry, I
with
can't
you
do it,
guys.
Lucas. I can't do it. So you are.
Sure.
Well, rumor tells us that you are. And what was the name of the town? I couldn't get the name of the town.
Vermilion.
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 Burr with a V.
Oh, Ver with a V.
Burr with a V.
Lucas, I don't mean to bring up something that could perhaps be a negative memory in your mind, but are you from the town Vermilion?
Well, yeah, actually, originally that's where I came here from to kind of start this tavern here. But I did grow up and lived probably a good first 15, 20 years of my life there. Yeah.
Well, I want to be honest with you here, Lucas. We are trying to figure out what happened to you and your people. I'm assuming you know what we're referring to.
I do. I do. It's a very dark time of my life that I don't necessarily relive too often, but it's happened, and sometimes you gotta acknowledge what happened in your past to make way for your future.
Well, and to be blunt, we want to make sure that you don't actually have to relive this.
Oh, you guys aren't thinking about going there, are you?
If we did, we would be very careful and we would stay our distance. It's purely a knowledge-based venture.
Oh.
But if you were to give us any extra information that might help us if we theoretically were to go there, would you have anything?
Well, I can. If you were to go there, well, I do have a request, And if you can do this for me, I can draw you, at least from what I remember the town is, and just a rough map of the town, I guess, of where to look for what.
Be very helpful.
If we can help you, and if it is within our power, of course.
Sure. Well, my wife was one that didn't make it through the events that happened there, and I could only really call it events because none of us really could understand what happened. But she did die there, and well, I'd just really appreciate it if you could take some flowers to her grave for me. Um, that would just mean a lot. I haven't been able to get back there myself. Um, it's hard for me now, especially, but even at the beginning, it was a different kind of hard for me to go back there. But if you could just take any old flowers, she was never too picky about her flowers. She liked them all. But if you could take some flowers to her grave, I'd appreciate it. And there's also a necklace of hers that we hid in a big hollow tree that was there, and it means a lot to me. And um, well, if you could return that to me too, that's a bigger ask of going kind of closer into town. But if you could do that too, I'd be eternally grateful to y'all. So
We can certainly look for it.
I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. But let me get that map drawn for you guys. And he walks away and like scurries through a little box and finds paper and writing utensil, and kind of comes back and probably takes the next good 5 minutes to draw out a map for you guys, kind of just detailing just like important parts on the of the town, of just like, mine's this way is another town or wherever, and this is the way you'll come in from here. And just like some key shops or something that he remembers. It's very crude, very kind of shaky hand. But it's gives you a good idea of the layout of the town.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Lucas, if you don't mind, I just have just a few more questions for you, not many.
Sure.
One, the disappearances started with the individuals who survived the collapse of the first mine, correct?
Yeah, those were the first ones that started to vanish in the night.
Was your wife one of those individuals?
No, after it seemed all those that, if they hadn't already flee town, it was they just, whatever it was, I guess call it they, as I think it's some being, started coming for just any villager, it seems, and it was hard to say who was next.
The last question, second to last question I have for you is, no matter how insane you might think it is, don't be shy. What was the most popular theory of what could have been causing this at the time?
Well, a lot of people think some god or entity was angry about the mine. I didn't think that might have been the case. It seemed more, I don't know, bad than I know even gods to be. I'm not a religious man by any means, but it seemed the only thing that could take people that quick had to be some creature or something that moved without you seeing it and could come in and out without you knowing.
Thank you for that information.
Yeah.
Sorry, were you about to say something, Opal?
Yeah, I guess I had one more question.
Sure.
Of course.
Do you Do you know an Astravorn?
Yeah, I knew their parents actually. They were just a kid when their parents, I think actually only their father, fled from Vermilion little after I did. So they won't remember much, I'm sure, but um we have an open air market, and Astra's got a little booth there. Um,
What does
Actually
she?
a flower stall,
Flowers.
ironically enough.
Well, looks like two birds with one stone there.
Yep.
Lucas, I know it happened a long time ago, and it sounds like you have a healthy mindset over what occurred, but I just want you to know that I do feel sorrow for what you had to go through.
I
And
appreciate that.
anything that we can do, whether it be finding that necklace or simply dropping off flowers at your wife's grave, we will do so.
Great. You know what? I appreciate that a lot. I really do.
All right. Well, you have some surprises to be giving out, and we have some flowers to buy. So, good day to you, sir.
Great.
I want to, as we walk away, just as casually as I can, since he said he's not religious by any means, leave a little pamphlet of Agma on the bar.
Jeez.
I'm not going to be too
Okay.
pushy about it, but I am going to leave it there.
Gotcha. Great. Oh, I
Oh, they were
forgot
so
about
cool this entire time. They just had a agenda.
always that agenda. As you guys turn to leave, Wayla takes out some money and pays, and then follows you guys out.
Yeah, I'm assuming the library will reimburse you. You have you have a corporate account.
Your work card.
Specifically with yours.
Yeah. Is it like during the day? Like, do you think we would? Well, I guess we saw that person carrying that stuff. Like, would we think the open air market's probably open right now?
Yeah, it was just, again, you probably weren't at Candlekeep too long. And by the way, you can travel. It was probably late afternoon
Okay, cool.
by the time you got into town, and so now it's still late afternoon, verging on early evening by the time all of this happened.
Yeah, we
Do
go
we
to the.
know about how long the rest of the journey is going to be to Vermilion?
The map didn't have like precise distances, but since you're really near the mountain, you probably can guess it's like closer to a day and a half travel to Vermilion from here, if that.
Yeah, I mean, we just go to the open air market and look for someone selling flowers.
Yeah.
Cool. You, since you're pretty central to town and the market is around the central part of town, just as people can find it easily, it is close to the evening, so you see some people kind of starting to put their wares away, pack up a little bit, usually, knowing that this is probably going to close close to sundown and we're really, getting on that. So you see also ironically a fish stand. You see, your kind of cheeses and breads, and you see just kind of all kinds of vendors kind of across the central market area. You see a person standing there with some red hair with some graying in it just a little bit, just kind of, putting some flowers into a little bouquet and kind of arranging them around. And you assume that being the only flower stall, that is likely Astra.
As we approach, I just gently elbow forward Opal.
Good evening.
Oh, hello there, dear. And they turn to kind of in your general direction, and you can see that their eyes are clouded over a very, very light blue, almost gray. But the red hair, you can see a little pointed ears pointing from their hair, but clearly half elf, not full elf, so still very human-like features minus the ears. In very simple garb, kind of tan clothes, a little vest, and they're holding the bouquet that they were just arranging. And like I said, kind of turn in your general direction, just, oh, hello there, and kind of
Hi.
fiddling and touching the flowers.
Would you happen to be Astra?
Yes, Yes, that would be me. What can I do for you guys? We're closing up here soon. So if you're interested, I could make you a bouquet real fast, but probably only have time for one before I need
Yeah.
to go pack
I
up.
would love a bouquet, and would you mind if we just chatted for a minute while you put it together?
Sure. Well, yeah, let me finish this one up for this kind person over here, and then I'll get you guys separate, so all situated. Okay. And
Thank you.
they'll feel and kind of grab a couple more flowers and arrange the bouquet, wrap it up at the end, and then hand it to a small halfling that was waiting on their bouquet, and they scuttle off with it. Um, and Ash returns back to you and says, "Well, what kind of bouquet are you looking for? Are you looking for a big one? We'll start with size."
Um, yeah, yes, big. We're looking
Okay.
for something um to honor someone's memory.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, that is a very important bouquet. Oh, right. Well, I
Perhaps
got
if you
just the
have any
thing.
flowers that are native to your hometown.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Oh, well, and they start feeling some of the flowers. They're like, well, I think I do have some daisies that were pretty common in Vermilion, but how did you happen to know that that's where I was from? Out of curiosity, and kind of tilts their head a little bit as they start to put some flowers into the bouquet.
This bouquet that you
We
are making is on behalf of Lucas.
Oh, I see. That
we
that
are
pretty much explains it then.
traveling to your hometown to
Oh,
well, pay our respects and honestly to look into what happened.
oh. Well, if you can figure it out as everyone else couldn't, I commend you for that. But I also gotta say, be careful. It's it was scary times. I don't remember much of it, but I remember my dad not being quite the same after we had to leave. So just be careful and don't go anywhere you don't think you should.
That's always very good advice. Estra, if you don't mind me being so blunt, your blindness, were you born with it or did it occur during the event?
I was born with it, so
Hmm.
it's been this way my whole life, or at least as far as I can remember. And my father said it's basically since I was a baby.
See. So, did you experience the events? Um, what was your perspective of them?
Or did you hear anything from your father that might have given you some information?
Well, I definitely, after the mine collapse, could feel an uneasiness around town,
Hmm.
and it seemed every time I went outside, the hair on the back of my neck stood up,
Hmm.
and it felt like just someone was watching me, and not just my dad or friends. It felt more like something, you know? And it just seemed like a scared sadness came over the whole town, which rightly so with people missing
Of
and
course.
everything. But yeah, I wish I could be more help and everything, but it was more of a feeling than anything that I remember.
No, I think that that
Just
is. Go ahead.
I was gonna say just this bouquet is a huge help, really.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm glad.
And there was the stories more helpful than you would think. You know, I hear that they say, should you lose one sense, your other senses compensate.
Hmm.
I would like to think that in some small way, it's a good thing that you happen to be there
Hmm.
because if anyone would have felt something off, would have been you.
Absolutely.
That's fair. And I guess it's a good thing I'm a florist because I get to smell flowers all day.
And I'm
She'll
sure I could only wish to smell what you smell.
And they kind of laugh and kind of do some final touches, not really adding anything, just shifting some stuff around. Again, all by feel. And then they kind of seem like they're at a good spot, and they grab their wrap. They wrap some ribbon around it to hold it all together, and hold it out in the general direction that they heard you speaking from, Opal, and say, well, if this is for Lucas's wife, then it's on the house, and I hope you guys can make it there safely.
Well, thank you. I hope that we can bring you more information that might bring comfort.
Great. That would be great. Well, we'll see, I guess.
Is there anything from your... Oh, good. I appreciate the good pun. Is there anything from your childhood that you can remember that would maybe still be there? Some kind of keepsake or family heirloom that we could maybe help look for?
I don't believe so. I think Father took most of the things with us
Of course.
when we left, and any toys or anything I might have had at the time. I'm a little outgrown now, but
You're never too old to play.
that's true. That is true.
Well,
But I just hope you guys be careful. I don't want you to get into anything crazy, but I hope some peace can come to that town.
hopefully we can bring it and some closure to those who have still lived.
Yeah.
Thank you for all your help, Astra.
Yes, thank you.
Of course. And if you're coming back this way on your way out of town, feel free to come back and say hi again.
We will.
Wyla, anything to say?
Okay, looks pretty.
Nugget, wonderful. Every single time, it's great. And we head off out of the market.
Great. So as you turn around and start heading out, you can see now people are really starting to pack up their carts, kind of shutting things down, flipping the covers over their stalls, taking their extra wares back to their home. And it's starting to get close to dusk. Sun's starting to set. You could probably, if you want to, it would be close to into the dark, or you could head back to maybe the Board Weasel or somewhere and have a night's rest before heading out the next day.
Probably would not be a bad idea to make sure we get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, I agree.
Great. Well, you head back to the Board Weasel. Lucas greets you with a very slow wave as you enter, sets you up with...
Hold up the bouquet.
Oh, wow.
Do you think it's good? She said the daisies were wild there, so...
They are. There was a lot of daisies. I do remember that now. Wow. She would love that. So,
great to hear.
Thank you, guys.
I want to take out, if there's enough, to take out like one daisy and like leave it for him.
Oh, well, thank you very much. That's very kind. He kind of takes it, puts it in his little pocket on his apron.
Cute.
Lucas, I'm sure that you're full up, but would you happen to be able to squeeze us in somewhere this evening?
Well, let me check. And he kind of turns to his little book and writes some stuff down. It's like, you guys are in luck. I do have. Are we rooming together, or do you need 3 rooms?
I'm sure I'll turn to Wyla, is that her name?
Wayla.
Wayla.
Wails on people.
And say, you'll get reimbursed, right?
For my room, yeah.
2 rooms, please. I'll sleep in
2
the chair.
rooms.
I'll sleep in the chair.
All right. Well, I'll get you set up with 2 rooms then. Then he hands you guys 2 keys.
Thank you.
And he'll say, and with the rooms does come breakfast in the morning. So feel free to stop
another surprise,
by on your way
perhaps.
out. It could be, but if I told you now, it wouldn't be a surprise.
I hope you don't tell us then either.
Me too.
We'll see.
Yeah, we just Ryvar would just go to the room, and is there like, obviously there's gonna be a bed, but is there just like a chair at all, like any kind of chair?
Yeah, we can say it has like a nice little, it's like a, not dingy by any means inn. He takes
Yeah.
some pride in this inn. There's probably like a little armchair or something as like a little rest area with a little side table that you could just kind of dad sit in and fall asleep.
Exactly. That's exactly what he does. He just dad sits.
Perfect.
Want to just take a couple minutes before I go to sleep and just like
His back doesn't
study.
too good on mattresses sometimes anyway.
That's the best way to go. Take a minute and really like study the map so that I feel like I've got a good idea of the layout of the town before we go in tomorrow.
Perfect.
I sneak out.
No,
I don't.
And during the night.
I honestly, if anything fishy would have happened, but everyone seems so wholesome. No insight checks though.
That's true. You guys didn't do any.
It's all right. It's all right. They just seem
Everyone
so
just
sweet.
seems so sincere.
Yeah.
We can't question someone's grief, can we?
No.
I mean, you could.
I mean, I kill kids, so like I don't.
You're sure
know.
making it seem like we should have.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I would probably try to like wake up like right at dawn or right before dawn and just get it, especially because like if it was late afternoon when we got there, then that means we like got plenty of sleep. So like I'll probably try to wake up everyone like right before dawn. To start making our way.
Yeah. So get a nice night's rest. Like I said, it's a pretty decent inn, so pretty comfy, pretty quiet. Nothing crazy happens. You wake up right at dawn. Oh, Wayla's already awake by the time you come and knock on her door, ready to go.
Wayla, how'd you sleep?
Like a log.
Perfect.
And you head downstairs. There's Lucas again. At the bar, wiping up a spot, getting someone like a
Lucas,
nice bowl of soup. It looks like.
Do you live back there? And I like point to like behind the bar.
Well, I don't live at the bar, but I do live here.
Yeah, I figured.
He just gestures to around the inn.
You're a good man, Lucas.
How'd you guys sleep? Did you sleep okay? Were the rooms to your liking?
Like a log.
I think Wayla said it best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I slept like a log. Oh, that's so great to hear.
Lucas,
well,
is it possible to get your wonderful breakfast to go?
Well, I think I can scrounge up a breakfast to go. Definitely.
It would be wonderful.
Let me see what I got. And he kind of goes to the back room.
I look at the other two and I'm like, I shouldn't have asked for this. Right? We don't have the time. It's gonna be.
we're gonna get fish surprise to go breakfast.
Another 5 minutes roughly pass, and he comes out with actually a nice looking basket of just kind of breads and berries.
Ooh.
Of what he had in the back. And you do see a little. It would be, it's not really a to-go bowl, but it's like a little mug basically, and there's some steaming something in there. And he hands you the basket and he says, well, this is the good as a breakfast, for I hope it's enough for all of you to share on your journey. But
plenty, thank you.
We'll make sure we bring this basket back, don't you worry.
Oh, don't worry about it if you can't. No worries at all. Okay, well, you guys, that's gonna be about I think 2 silver pieces each if for the night. If you'll
I'll just look at
have
Wayla.
Me too. Yeah, I just look at Wayla.
She just is like and rolls her eyes and takes out 4 silver pieces and puts it down and like looks at you guys and like just like walks out.
Thanks, Wayla.
Ryvar genuinely just laughs as he turns and walks out the room.
And you see Lucas kind of gathering it and putting it in his pocket and then just wiping up where the basket is, and you see that as you exit. And as you start your journey, I assume, do any of you risk the mug of
I do.
surprise?
I'll sniff it.
I've had some
and
crazy stuff.
Before Rylar eats it, Opal, you give it a little sniff, and it smells fishy, but also kind of like a chowder. So it's got some little bit
Surprising.
of Exactly. A little bit of saltiness, a little bit of chowderiness, little fishy. It's like an interesting smell, but it doesn't smell outwardly bad.
Well, you enjoy that fish for breakfast.
I think I will when I down it. I just down it.
Just straight down it.
Yeah.
It tastes delicious.
Ooh.
You don't know how, you don't know what he puts in there, but you down it and it's just this like chowder, but like a fish chowder, but somehow it works and it has this almost sweetness to it while still being salty, and is just like smooth and warm and like just the right consistency where it's a little creamy, not too chunky. It's just perfect.
We gotta make sure we go back there. That was fantastic.
Oh.
I'm honestly
thanks for sharing,
I'm incredibly. It was one mug.
really.
It was a single mug.
You still could have shared.
You could have had some last night if you wanted some, Wayla. This is also the most you've smoked this entire time. I am very much regretting not cutting up a piece of bread and dipping it in that, though, because that would have been the combination.
Maybe just swallow a piece of bread whole, and then it'll.
That is not the way the Dragonborn anatomy works.
Anyways, here we go.
To your stomach, or
Yeah, my stomach does not have
That's
taste
it.
buds. Do the tabaxi stomachs have taste buds?
Well, I guess you'll never know.
you guys make your way. Continuing now, you started mainly south, but the kind of directions and map that you've been given from the book start to say a little bit more south, and then you start heading southwest, and then directly south into the southeast.
So there's like
and
no
directly
road,
into
we're roughing it right now.
So there's clearly a road that once was.
Okay, gotcha.
But because this is mainly a road that leads from Marin to Vermilion, it hasn't been traveled
So
like.
it's like more of a trail now.
Right. So
Yeah.
so you have a road that probably would continue past the mountains, but then the trail you have to take probably only about, half day into your travel
Yeah.
starts just directly into the mountains, and that's very decrepit, just like overgrown, slows you down. It wouldn't probably have been as long of a journey back in the day,
Yeah.
but because it's just a little overgrown, you have to like climb over and around things. It's just a little bit more time consuming to actually get there.
Yeah. Now that we are in like getting close and like in like uncharted for a while territory, both of them, because you're a cleric, right, Opal? I'm assuming. What armor do you have?
I think I have
Chainmail?
leather armor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, leather. Well, I know that.
Wait, I don't have my armor on. What am I doing?
This
But I
whole
told
summer,
you.
You've been.
Is it leather though?
I've been really naked. It is leather, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, even the leather armor, and I know that Wayla's in plate armor. My speed is 40, and Ryvar's really light on his feet. So I would say Ryvar kind of like runs ahead about 100, 200 feet, and then just kind of like eyeballs what's going on, and then just like waits for them to approach, walks with them again for another, and then just kind of repeats his process, just to like kind of scout ahead each time and see if we're coming up on anything.
Sure. Go ahead and roll a d20. Wait, no. Roll 1d8 and 1d12 and tell me the total.
Okay. Literally no idea what this means. The total? 9.
Okay. As you run ahead one of these times, you see some movement just kind of in the more, this is kind of a forested mountain, so it's not like, very rocky. It's more forest as it's taking you up kind of into the mountain. So it's pretty dense forest, especially now. And you just kind of hear the rustling and just like see movement kind of going not towards you, but definitely like it would eventually cross the path in front of you if it continued on its path.
I just kind of immediately like crouch down, and Opal would know what this means. I do like a specific 2-tone whistle where the note goes down. The second time I do and that just kind of means like stop. And I just see if I can peer what it is.
Give me a perception check.
Come on, Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. Oh God! Okay, I'm gonna reroll.
Doesn't sound like it went well.
Hey, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. As you kind of crouch down and like wait for it to get a little more near, kind of between the trees and stuff, you see just a deer.
Oh.
Just a single lone little deer. Looks like a young buck with some antlers, just kind of running and bounding across, and would eventually be probably only like 30 feet if it continued.
Does it seem relatively healthy?
Mhm.
Okay, I kind of lean back up and say, false alarm. Does look like the wildlife isn't too affected by whatever's going on, so that's information.
That's good.
Yep, and
Cool.
just keep going.
Cool. So we'll say that probably since you left right in the morning and are scouting ahead, making probably actually pretty good time through this. Go ahead and one more time roll the D8 and D12 for me.
12.
Okay.
Oh, what does that mean?
As you are coming heading towards you see two horses and two humanoid figures on them heading at a very quick pace in your direction.
How far away from the two of them am I? My party members.
From your party members?
Mm-hmm.
Since you probably ran up and saw this, they're probably have caught up a little bit to you. They're probably still about 50 feet away.
Okay, and the other people
You're
are
like 100 feet.
and
They're probably closer to like 80 feet.
okay.
But you can like hear them, like they're not being stealthy. They're just like booking it in your direction.
Not a lot of time, so I just turn back and look at the two of them, and I just say, confront or hide.
Hide.
Okay, I duck off to the side of the road and gesture for them to do so as well.
Wayla just dives straight into a bush.
Yeah.
Very loudly, but not stealthily, in her chain armor, just like in and then like settles and then like kind of hides behind a bush.
Yeah, and then I'd hide behind a bush.
I want to try to be able to see them.
Yeah, I do want to be able to see them as they cross.
Sure.
Yeah.
Both of you give me a stealth check then.
Ooh. Ooh, I'm pretty good at stealth. 13. Ugh, that was a bad roll.
22.
13, 22. Oh, I forgot. She has chains, so it's
she's disadvantaged. Yeah.
Okay, she's still got a 12, so she's not too bad.
Yeah.
So the people on horseback are getting closer and closer, and as they get close to you, you can kind of see them look where you guys hid, not directly at you, but where you guys hid, and just like there's a look of terror and confusion on their faces, but they don't stop. They just keep going. They're talking to each other primarily, just saying go, go, go.
As they approach, do I see any like physical dishevelment, injuries, anything?
Really, the only thing that you can immediately tell is they just look pale. They just look like they're scared out of their ever-loving minds. But you don't see like blood.
I know this is gonna scare them, but I just pop up with my hands open. I say, "Oi, friends!"
They both scream.
Yeah.
And go to grab the nearest thing on them to throw at you. So,
I let him do it.
Wait.
No, I let him do it.
So one is a dagger, so you'll get one dagger thrown at you.
Okay, yeah. Please let this work.
I rolled a 19.
Okay, that will hit.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll damage. I'm gonna do something as a monk.
It's only 2 damage.
Okay.
They don't get any bonuses. They don't look like fighters. They just happen to have.
Okay, I am going to use deflect missiles as a monk. and the damage is reduced by 10. So, and because the damage is reduced to 0, I just catch the dagger.
Perfect.
And so I just catch it, and then I immediately drop it. And say, nope, I understand. Friends, no friends. We're friends. Hello, sorry I scared you.
At the same time the dagger is thrown, the other person, the quickest thing they could grab was their coin purse. Okay. And so you just get a full coin purse chucked at your head.
This I will not be able to deflect missiles.
Oh no. That was a 4. So that one just like he just goes and it's heavier than expected, and so it just falls like in front of you and just spills out on the road, just like in front of you. And then they're both like,
I'm not gonna take any of that. I won't take any of it. I'm your friend. I'm sorry to scare you. We didn't know what you were, and so we were just being safe, so we hid. I apologize.
And they like will have slowed their horses after seeing that you're like not this, and just like instinct, and they're like, oh
yeah.
Okay. We need to go though. I don't. You guys shouldn't go that way. You should go that way. The way we're going, you don't. We're going that way. So
I've been down and
keep the gold. Honestly, we're just gonna go.
I've been down and I pick up the dagger and what I can of the purse, and I hand it to both of them, and I say, "We won't keep you. What are you running from?"
Strange shit, man. I don't know what it is, and he's like clenching the reins of his horse like up and like shaking, of just like strange. I can't even describe it, man. It's just some weird shit goes on at town, dude.
All right.
We gotta go.
We should just let them go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And they like spur their horses and they're out. They're out of there. They're just going, gone.
Yeah. Well, once again, that is. I just kind of like look at my party members as they're galloping away. Well, again, that is at least information. I kind of had a feeling that whatever we were dealing with was supernatural, and I feel like that has just kind of been confirmed for us. I feel like a beast, they would have said they saw a creature. They would have said they saw, you know what I mean?
It almost has to be to have taken people as quickly as it did. I don't know of any animal that could do that.
Maybe they discovered something down there in those mines.
Well, we should proceed with caution.
Wayla, thoughts?
Seems like scary shit.
Let's keep going.
And on that, we'll take a quick break.
All right, wonderful. Awesome. Me too. We'll be right back after a brief intermission. Stand up, stretch, get some water and hydrate, and we will be right back. So don't go anywhere. I hated that. Right. Sorry to everyone.
All right. Picking up where we just left off, yes. Our tiny but mighty party was heading from Marin to Vermilion. Thankfully, along the way, didn't have too crazy of encounters. Saw a lone deer that turned out to be just a deer chilling in the forest.
Yes.
But as we assume to be closer now to Vermilion, we did see 2 humanoids on horseback come flying in the opposite direction, clearly scared out of their minds, not really wanting to stay and chit-chat, didn't have much to say besides don't go that way, and then continued on their way. So you're not entirely sure how much more you have until you get to Vermilion. By how much you've traveled, and again, just general mapness, you can guess
mapness.
It's at least a half a day, if not another full day travel.
Okay.
Right now it's getting towards like early late evening, so sun's starting to go. You could probably travel a couple more hours, or kind of call it quits here, find a place to camp for the night.
I feel like we made pretty good time today. I don't know if I want us to risk traveling in the dark.
Yeah, and I think we probably shouldn't be any closer than this to camp.
Agreed. Well, I also feel like the 3 of us should exchange watches over the evening.
Definitely. I'm happy to take the first one.
I'll sleep now and I will take the last watch.
I'll take the middle then.
Alright. Good night. And he just leans against a tree and just immediately nods off.
You you guys stay on the somewhat of a path that's still there, or kind of go a little off the path, more into the forest?
I'd say if we can go a little off the path without being
Okay.
like way off the path.
Yeah, I would say like
What do you
no more than like 100 feet off the path.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, so you find a nice little area that's not too dense with trees, set up a little camp, and have some dinner. And
What is the
Curling.
temperature like? Sorry.
you have been traveling up, so it's getting steadily a little bit colder as you head more into the mountains.
Yeah.
But it's not freezing by any means. It's just maybe now a little chilly.
Yeah.
Pretty much like late fall weather.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you had a sweater, it'd be nice, but like
Yeah.
nothing too crazy.
I mean, I know that I will be okay. And he kind of like snorts, and a little bit of smoke comes out of his nostrils. But do either of you feel like you will need a fire? I kind of feel like it is better if we do not make a fire.
I'm okay.
Wayla?
Yeah, should be fine.
Okay, good. Then good night. I'm just leaning against the tree.
Night-night.
Okay, Opal, since you're on first watch, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okie dokie. Let's cock. Ooh, nat 20.
Ooh. Well, for the first watch, as it gets into still the early evening, into, you know, very darkness, and since you are a tabaxi, you can still see without too much issue. So you see some critters that are nocturnal that come out. None really pay you any mind. They're just out and about doing their business. Since there's not a fire, they're not drawn to you guys by any means, besides just if they happen to notice you, you don't see or sense any immediate danger, just besides some critters running around the forest.
Okay. What a way to use a nat 20.
Wayla also got a pretty high score. She also doesn't see anything. Seems to be a quiet night. So when she wakes you, Raylar, nothing to report. Basically says, pretty chill. Some critters are running around, but nothing seems like they're out to stalk us or anything.
Wonderful. Sorry, just a second. What's happening here? Sorry.
Good. There's an owl. The sound is kind of cool. Like the owl was only in one of my headphones.
Oh, really? That's
Uh-huh. Ooh.
There we go. Gosh, I could not find it. All right. So I'm assuming I need to do a perception check.
Yeah.
Ugh. 7.
Uneventful for you too.
Oh no! God dang it. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a big ol' nothing for you. So
Alright.
you wake up in the morning, kind of right at dawn. Both Rylar and Wayla seem to just naturally get up at that time, and
No.
we'll probably about the same time anyway. So you guys all naturally just wake up as the sun does, pack up and continue your journey. Let's have Opal. Go ahead.
As we get closer, I want to keep an eye out for the hollowed tree that Lucas was talking about.
Okay. Right now, most of them just seem like normal forest trees. That would be, unless you're like trying to see beyond like the immediate on the path. I won't need a perception check for you if you're just kind of generally looking out for it.
Just keeping an eye out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then this time, Wayla, go ahead and roll the D8 and a D12 for me.
Do you mean me?
You said
Yep.
Wayla.
I did say Wayla. I'm gonna roll it this time.
Not actually. You roll
D8
it.
and a D12. 18.
18.
I
Whoa.
was just doing math.
Okay. As you come up this path, Rylar, if you're still heading the group as you were, You don't see movement, but you see kind of, again, the about 80 feet in front of you, something that looks like a cart that's just in the middle of the road.
I am going to motion for both of them to stay as I get off the beaten road about 10 feet and then continue to head down the path stealthily to try to get a better view.
Okay.
I'm gonna, instead of stopping, just continue very stealthily.
Okay, Wayla's gonna stay back because she can't stealth. So
Yeah.
she's gonna be.
Yeah, I guess I just assume
Hang
a
out.
cleric can't stealth, but if you can stealth, come on.
I'm also a tabaxi, so that
Yeah.
helps.
True. Yeah, I got a, but I rolled kind of low for me at 16.
Oh, I
for
also
your
got a
stealth?
16.
Yeah.
Okay, both stealths. So you seem to make your way to the cart without too much issue. Go ahead and, if Opal, you'll be there as well, go ahead and both give me perception checks.
14.
Ooh, 19.
Rylar, what you can see is
Ryvar with a V.
Ryvar, sorry.
You're good?
Ryvar. What you
It's my
can
trigger
see-
word to get into the accent. Ryvar.
Ryvar. What you can see is this looks like an abandoned cart. You don't
Okay.
see any movement right away.
Okay.
You see that it's a big enough car that likely more than one horse was pulling it. But you don't see the horses anymore. And that's pretty much what you see.
Yeah.
Opal, with a little bit more perception, you can tell that the horses were cut loose from it, so they weren't like unbuckled. They're like the straps and everything seem kind of shredded and cut where the horses used to be. The items in the back of the truck or the cart look a little disheveled. There's some items kind of scattered on the ground, like it stopped suddenly, was shaken about, something like that. Not that it just kind of stopped leisurely, is what you can tell with a 19.
I'll just in like sort of examining those things, kind of point them out to you.
Do I remember the two horses that those gentlemen were riding? Did it look like they had like straps on them that had been cut? If I think back.
If you think back, I would say that the horses looked a little beefier than like riding horses, but they were saddled.
Yeah.
But it's not uncommon that maybe they had a saddle to take the horses as like where they needed to go and not only pull the cart.
Yeah.
So it could go either way of they were saddled, but they seemed a little beefy.
I gesture Wyla to come join us, and I just kind of want to look through the contents of the cart.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
Oh, great. I'm so good at these. That is a 7.
You don't find too much. It looks like a merchant cart. It looks like pretty common wares. Nothing unusual, nothing out of the ordinary. Just maybe a merchant taking their cart to sell things at a town.
Where would they be?
I'm not sure what check I would make, but I want to see if there's any, like, just past the cart, if there's any prints that lead, like, back to the town or that seem like they don't come from the cart.
Sure. Give me survival check to kind of check for tracks.
16.
Nice. So you do see some hoof prints that lead away from the cart, as well as hoof prints in the opposite direction leading towards the cart. So you can kind of see that they're both going away and back towards.
Okay. Well, I guess we go in and see what scared them so much.
Suppose so. This all seems pretty useless. Onward. Wyla, any thoughts?
Onward.
Yeah, it's useless.
All right, here we go.
All right, so you continue on your journey. You probably only have, you probably traveled for a couple hours. So you have another close to half day before you start to see a village appear in front of you.
Mm.
Your landscape goes a little bit from dense forward to more mountainous, like something was kind of cleared for more of a town and hopefully expansion. Less dense forest, more mountainous region. As you approach a very, very desolate town. You can see even from afar, before you even get too close, the outer buildings are crumbling in spots, roofs are caved in. It looks like a ghost town.
I want to do something kind of crazy.
Okay.
Crazy
I
girl.
want to cast.
You're crazy.
Crazy girl.
I want to cast augury.
Okay.
Which I've never cast before, but JMO, I'm going to send you the wording of the spell because you have to
Great.
tell me what to do.
So spooky.
That's so spooky. All right, I sent it to you on Discord. But it says, by casting gem inlaid sticks, rolling dragon bones, laying out ornate cards, or employing some other divining tool, you receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a specific course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. The DM chooses from the following list. So the specific course of action I'm going to choose is literally just like walking into the town.
Okay. So you receive an omen from it of the results of the specific action. Okay. Interesting. You don't have to like roll for it. I just get to choose. That's
Yeah.
all right.
That's some that's some Monster Hearts shit.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Like, oh, damn. Okay. So as you lay out, what do you lay out? Like, do you have some gems? Do you have what is it exactly
so I
that
have
you lay out?
a block of incense, so I'll take out some incense
Okay.
and lay them kind of in the path right in front of us, and I'll take off my holy symbol and put it just sort of right in the arch, of the incense that I've set on the ground, and that'll sort of be what I set up.
Okay. So as you lay out this incense in front of you and kind of like let your hands hover around it and close your eyes and just connect to your god something?
Ogden.
Thank you.
Ogma.
I was gonna
Ogma.
killing it. Ogma. You reach out to Ogma and try to get a sense of what will happen if you enter this place. And you get a both sense of a woe and what is the other word? A wheel, which is a yay and a nay.
Good and bad results.
So you get a good and bad result. So you get the feeling of dread and fear that will just completely encompass you as soon as you enter, and that encompasses this whole town. But you also feel that there's things there that you're searching for, and there's answers there that you're searching for if you enter this town.
Well, I think we should continue forward.
Don't have to tell me twice.
I learned nothing.
Right.
Everything and nothing.
Okay.
It's usually how the gods work.
On the roll 20, you all should now see a map of Vermilion.
Ooh, whoa.
Go ahead and
so
test me
tiny.
your characters to see if you can.
Oh yeah, I can.
Okay, cool.
Okay, here, let me bring this up on the roll 20.
Sweet.
Oh, cool. There you go. You guys can see it now. It's dope.
So you've entered kind of late afternoon, but since you've kind of gone between mountains, you have like these super high mountains on either side of you. The sun is still set behind the mountains. So it's not dark, but it's definitely dimmer lighting. So if you don't have dark vision, you can still see okay. but it's not dark by any means, and it's not like daylight, even though it is still the afternoon.
Yeah.
So you enter from the southern portion of this town, and straight up the kind of center walkway, you can see straight up to this gnarled tree in front of you that's in front of probably the nicest looking house that you can see in this vicinity. It's the only two-story house, and it's definitely more decadent, a little nicer, and has withstood the teletime a little bit better than the rest of, excuse me, the various houses around this area. And for a visual of what you see down the way, shabam,
Ooh.
that's what you see
This-
straight down this center alley.
Does the tree look hollow?
You can't
Not
really
close
tell
enough.
from this distance. You can tell that it's definitely a gnarly looking tree, but that's about all you get from this far away. Because keep in mind, you can see, since it's light enough, just barely to that mansion. But as it
Yeah.
says down here, each square of this grid is about 10 feet. So it's a fairly decent sized little village. And you're still a good distance away.
Each square is 10 feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, should we
Do we see any
start...
people?
Nope. You don't see people. You don't hear people.
Any critters?
Ghost town.
Yeah, any wildlife that we can see or hear? No?
Nope.
Okay. Yes, I say we just walk forward and perhaps stay alert. The map that Lucas gave us.
Yes.
Did he point out a specific location where his house was, or where the grave was?
He circled a couple buildings. Burp, burp, which I'll circle. So he circled this one up here and wrote next to it mayor. I think you can kind of see the edge of that circle.
I can see the edge of the circle.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
So that building you can just barely see very far down.
Uh-huh.
He circled that building and wrote mayor.
And that's the one that has the gnarled tree in front of it.
Yep. He circled this building over here.
Okay.
Okay.
He circled a building just behind that one, which you can't really see yet. You can maybe
No.
get a quick little glance about. Oop.
But we know where the location is.
Right. You know where the location is.
What did he
And
call
then
the two of
he-
those? Sorry.
He didn't wrote
Okay.
write
That's
anything
fine.
for
Yeah,
those,
that's
he just
fine.
circled them. And then he, on the kind of far northwest part of town, there's a circle, kind of directly west from the mayor's house. You can't
Okay.
see what that is yet,
Yeah.
but you can see it. And he wrote wife next to that.
Hmm.
And what else would he have circled? That's mainly it.
Okay.
For now, that's I think what he would have circled.
Well, then I just start to kind of veer to the northwest here and go to that first building that's right next to us, the one that's closest to us.
Okay.
I will too.
Can
one
I?
right here?
Yeah. Can I move my piece? Is that cool?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I go around and take a little bit of a wider, if he's going through
Yeah, I'm going right next to this building.
this way?
Okay.
Yeah, I want to go oh, this is wild. I want to go
This
around
is so
building.
crazy. It moves as you move the piece.
It's
Yeah.
so cool.
Okay. Opal, as
Mhm.
you arrive around this building,
Yeah.
you walk past, it's still a disheveled building. You can basically see right into it through most of it, but there's one window that's still intact. You walk by it and catch your glimpse of your reflection, but you're fully covered in black fur. And you stop and you look and you see yourself, but fully in fur. And as you lean forward and kind of look at it a little bit more, the fur just starts in patches to fall off you. And
Nope, I'm gone. I'm walking away. I don't want to see the rest of this.
my
I have no care to see the rest.
you continue walking that way.
I
That's what
continue
you
walking. She literally goes, nope.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it.
do. Before she
Oh, okay.
rejoins you,
I told you to
as
go
you're
before we
kinda-
got down here.
on opposite sides of this building,
Yeah.
Ryvar,
Yeah.
what you see, as you basically kind of are about to turn the corner of this building.
So kind of like right here.
So yeah, when you're turning the corner of that building, on the
Okay.
opposite corner,
Okay.
you see like a flash of something or someone turning that corner, but all you really see is a blue scaled tail just turn that corner really fast.
I sprint. I sprint around the corner. I sprint to right here.
Sprint there.
Yeah.
Don't see anything.
Go back.
No response. Don't hear anything.
I walk over to Opal by this building and I say, I don't want to talk about it.
Me neither.
And then I just very. Yeah, does it look like
looking at you guys like?
So it doesn't look like Wayla doesn't seem shook.
Nope.
Okay.
She doesn't seem shook. She was following you.
Yeah.
And didn't seem like she also saw or heard anything.
I just slowly turn to this building that we've arrived to, and I see if I can figure out the significance of it.
Okay. So as you look at this building, you notice similar to everywhere else, very disheveled, thick layer of dust. You can see in one of the windows easily it's cracked, broken open, and everything in there is a layer of dust. But it's very clearly was once a forge, a blacksmith. But it has not been used in a very long time, probably close to 70 years.
Yeah.
On the above the door, kind of still only hanging by like one of the two that normally would hang a like wooden sign.
Yeah.
You can see a sign that does call it the Wand and Hammer, and it's just like slowly kind of creakily moving and barely hanging on by that one last little spot.
What's that?
That's so scary.
I kind of just look at Opal and I just have like I do our little signal of like let's circle around this building and meet on the other side.
Gotcha.
Cool. Opal, as you circle around on your side, you start to hear whispers, and you don't really catch much of anything, but every once in a while, you just hear like freak, and oh, where's your hair? Where's your fur? And then it's just like dissonant whispers, and it sounds like it's coming from all around you, but also in your head, not actually around you.
What?
Zach, as you turn the corner, you also get a nice glimpse of a reflection in the mirror, but you don't see yourself, you see your father. And as you pass it, you catch a glimpse of clearly your father. When you come back, you're staring at yourself. You don't see your father anymore, it's just your reflection.
Keep sound of mind here. This place doesn't want us here.
I just sort of instinctually like put my hood up, kind of hide.
You do a sweep of the building, don't see anyone besides what just happened, don't hear anything. It just looks like a abandoned, disheveled blacksmith.
Did he said that he hid the necklace in a tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
we don't see any trees circled on the map.
No, he didn't circle any trees or have any other circles that would go with a tree, but the like most distinct tree is that one right down the path.
Yeah.
The rest look like forest trees, and so they don't really look like they have a hollow or anything in them.
Yeah.
You haven't really seen any that have a big hollow like something would be in there.
Can I just, since we're right here, I'm gonna just bop over and peek in this window.
Yeah, same. I'm just gonna follow her.
Okay. That is you look in here. Again, easy to do. Everything is covered in a layer of dust. You see a lot of tools in this room, but it's stoneworking tools. So you can kind of assume that this is the stonemason, and primarily scattered about this shop are gravestone heads in various states of creation. Some have full names on them, some are written with a name, and then the little inscription at the bottom is halfway and stops. Some are just raw stone waiting to be carved into some sort of headstone. But clearly, this stonemason has only been making headstones for the last bit of time before it was abandoned.
I think
The sorry, go ahead.
I think at the very least this that tree has to be it. He did mention that we would have to go further into the town for the tree than for the grave, so that's got to make sense, right?
The speed at which these people must have been taken to have this amount of headstones. I mean, it had to have been happening multiple people a day.
I think it might be important for us to get these flowers to the cemetery as quickly as we can so that at least happens.
I say we take care of business first, I agree. Maybe we should split up. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I just kind of head to the left of this building here.
Yeah, I'll do the same, but go around this way.
Yeah, making my way to the cemetery.
So wild the way the light moves.
It's
cool.
really, really cool looking.
Cool. So as you head to the cemetery, both of you are kind of walking since it's a little bit farther away.
Yeah.
And as you're walking, you can see your shadow. And as you kind of just like look down to keep abreast of where you're stepping and you're not tripping over anything, you notice your shadow moves. And you look at each other's shadow and don't notice it. It's only happening to your shadow as you see it. So it's happening to both, but you don't see it.
Yeah.
But you see it kind of move and then it starts stretching and stretching and stretching and becoming just like your elongated shadow. And you look around and again, all the other shadows, it's not happening. It's just to your shadow. And then suddenly it shrinks back into you and disappears. And you no longer have a shadow. And you keep walking and you're both looking around, kind of like, what the fuck is happening? And then when you look back, normal shadow again.
I look over at Opal. Opal. What did Sprig give me to eat? In Candlekeep.
I ate the same thing. Lemon something?
Okay, it's you. Wayla. Say something.
Something.
Okay, yep, that's her. I don't know if we got a name from Lucas, so I just start looking for the last name of Lucas, Governor.
Yeah. Easily enough. You
see, it's easy to say. It makes sense.
You start approaching and you can see it's an interesting mix of some have headstones that don't have any inscription at all, and there's like a group of them that seem to be, as you were saying, rushed to the point of they just didn't get there and they had to like move on or just didn't get to it or whatever the case may be. And near the kind of back right of the cemetery, though, you can find Lucas's wife. Her name is, where is it? You see Lorna Gravis, I can't even say it anymore. Grosvenor, beloved of Lucas, forever my heart. And that is inscribed on a headstone.
Put the flowers down.
Yeah, I simply go over, put my hand on the headstone, and I say, "You are a good person to be with such a good man. May he rest easy. And then I look at Opal and I say, and I'm like, she knows that I'm referring to her clericness. Do what you feel you need to be done. I'll be waiting. And I just step like 5 feet away.
I don't actually have anything that I can do.
No, I know. I didn't know. He doesn't know if Opal wants to have like a moment or I mean.
I'll take a moment.
If you just immediately walk, then you just immediately walk. He's just giving you time to do something. He's not very comfortable being around religious stuff, is what it is.
Yeah.
And you would know that.
A pretty brief moment, really, to just pray. Just a general blessing prayer over the grave, and then turn back and get back to business.
Cool. As you turn back and are kind of all together again, it's been a little windy in this mountain town. You're kind of, like I said, in a cavern, so there's kind of a constant breeze. But as you both leave the cemetery, you feel a different kind of wind wash over you, and you almost feel like there's like a content sigh on the wind as you leave the graveyard.
We've done at least some good here.
Did we
Yes, I'll take the long way around, and I start heading around this way.
Okay.
To then
that way?
to then head to the tree.
Okay.
Actually, I just let Opal go to the tree, and I stop at the mayor's house, right in the corner here, so I can still see her within eyesight. But I'm chilling at the mayor's house by the corner.
Okay. Un momento. I always forget that I have a player that has to not just be chilling.
Yeah, I know. I get
I want to just stay in the graveyard.
Yeah, so she'll just I'll just stay here. This seems like a fun place. Wayla will go to the tree with Opal. We'll do Ryvar first.
Okay.
Ryvar, as you
I don't like this.
go to the house, you're standing there and kind of leaning against the house, just watching them.
Yep.
And the hair on the back of your neck stands up, and you just feel like you're being watched. And from seemingly coming from behind the mansion, you hear a soft, pained call for your name that sounds exactly like your dad. And he's just sounds like he's in so much pain, and he's just, Ryvar, help me. And you hear that coming from behind the mansion.
It's not real. It's not my father. It's not my father. It's not my... Opal, did you find anything? We need to go.
Looking.
I am going to, is there a window near me anywhere?
Yeah, in the front and sides of the mansion, there's kind of those big, classic, long, tall windows. Some of which they're not as broken and smashed. Again, for some reason, this seems to be a more well-kept, and so they're dust covered, but some do have some chunks taken out of them that you can probably peek into.
Yeah, I just see if I see any movement inside the house.
Give me a perception check.
I'll just move right there.
Mm-hmm.
That is an 8.
No movement.
Okay. I just turn around and my back is still to the mansion, and I'm just saying over and over under my breath, it's not real, it's not real, it's not real.
Okay, Opal, when you approach the tree, about 5 feet up, you see a hollow, fairly large hollow just cut into this tree. And upon just looking into it, you see just leaves and some nuts, like it was once the home of a critter. And that's all you immediately see. Yeah.
I'll investigate. I'll try to kind of dig in there, see if I can feel anything buried in there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just digging in there, I won't make you roll for it. You dig around, mainly just feel more nuts and leaves, and then you feel something smooth, and that's not like a nut. And so you kind of grab onto that and pull it out. You pull out a necklace. It's a very pretty, a very decadent necklace that has a single oval pendant at the base of it that says "For Lorna Forever." So you can assume that this is
Okay.
his wife's necklace.
I will hold it up, say, found it, and I'll put it in my pocket.
Great.
And then I will go over to the mansion.
Is the mansion the last? It is the last place that was circled for us, right? There's nothing on to the right.
Yeah, that you haven't looked into.
Yeah.
As Opal, you say, found it. Ryvar once again, except this time more on this corner of the house.
Which corner? Sorry, I didn't see.
Oh, this one. So the far corner. Before Opal comes over and joins you, the opposite corner to where you are.
Oh, okay, cool. That's why I can see
You
it.
you look over, and you don't look over, but out of the corner of your eye, you see movement like someone peeking around, and all you again see is a blue scaled being peeking around the corner. And as soon as you turn your head, they whip their head back. Opal, did you have a question?
I was gonna ask if he had found anything, but I've been shushed.
And then I don't stealth, but I just wait for just the right moment, and then I dead sprint to this other corner.
Okay.
I just instinctually follow.
Okay.
That's where I heard it, right? You said right there? Or saw it?
No, sorry, it was over here.
Over here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
how did
so
I see it over
basically-
there?
Well, because you were standing in front of the house, right?
Yes.
Looking in that window. So it's the opposite corner going
over
again
here.
to the back of the house. Yes, that's where you saw.
Oh, so then that's
going
where I
to,
sprint.
again, the back of the house.
Gotcha.
Yep.
That's where I sprint then.
Okay.
And
Then
I just like slide and turn the corner.
as you do, you see again the tail, blue scaled tail, going around the back of the house.
I mean, I continue to sprint forward.
Okay.
If I sort of notice that he's going around, I'll start to go the other direction.
Okay. So because he started sprinting as you kind of were heading back to him, we'll say, let's get their good old ruler out, that you were still a good like 30 feet from him when he started sprinting. So you'll kind of still be a like pace behind him for turning around the house. And Wayla's right behind you. Oh, I'm in the wrong layer.
What is it?
And so, Ryvar, you see the tails kind of again go to the back of the house. Do you continue to follow it to the back of the house?
Every step, yeah.
Cool. Then as you do,
so right here, right there.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, basically to around the back of the house.
Yeah.
As you do, they'll get one opportunity attack. But this.
Who does?
Is your dad attacking you?
What?
It's not your dad.
This chittering creature just waiting for you, and as soon as you arrive around the corner, it just tries to sink its claws right into you.
Okay.
So we'll get one attack of opportunity and go ahead and roll initiative.
Ooh, doggy.
Now, where's my stats for this guy? So he got a 20, dirty 20 to hit.
Ooh, that hits.
And he does only 3 slashing damage.
Okay.
But please give me a Constitution saving throw.
Of course. That's a 4.
Okay, you are paralyzed for 1 minute. So you turn the corner, and as you do, waiting for you is this chittering beetle, crab, lobster, I don't even know, like thing. And he just claws you from both sides. And as you do, you just feel every joint, every muscle just tighten. And as you're like preparing to attack, you're just frozen.
Will I get to make a saving throw again? I guess I'll find out. All right. Okay. Cool.
Opal, go ahead and also roll initiative.
Done. Got a 16.
16. I need to write this down. Come here. All right.
Only I was just a little bit higher of a level of a monk, I would have something for this.
All right.
Monks are so fun.
Monks are the coolest.
What did you get, Zach?
15 for initiative.
15. Got a.
Ooh, doggy, the thing looks ugly.
Ah. Yeah, it does. All right.
Excuse me. Is there a token for that creature? Because I'm not seeing it if there is.
Oh, there is. He has just been hidden.
It's hidden from us.
Bing.
There he is. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, there he is.
And un momento.
No, I moved myself up just so I could literally see where they were.
Sure,
But
yeah.
You can tell me if I'm further back.
We'll say instead of following, since you immediately beelined, you're still about 30 from him, which would probably get you close to the edge. So you're like about to round the corner and see if at the other end of the house this thing happening.
Cool, yeah.
So at the top of the turn order is the mean lock, as it's affectionately called, and he he lets out these additional chittering sounds, comes to the back side of Ryvar and just clamps on him with his claws and starts dragging him away. Because he's encumbered and still it's just him, he doesn't get too far. So we'll say he can drag you.
Nowhere.
Since these are 10 feet, it's like he gets basically like half his movement of 15 because he's so weighed down by this giant dragonborn.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get far, but he does do that. Next is Opal.
Okay, I'm gonna turn the corner, and I'm not gonna get much closer, but a little bit, and then I'm gonna cast a guiding bolt at the dude. You know,
Cool.
the dude.
The dude.
Oh fuck, that's a 14 to hit.
That does not hit. So the guiding bolt, you can tell these are almost like beetle-y armored guys, so they do have some toughness to their skin. So as he's claws in, pulling, he kind of just like turns and you kind of ricochet off his back, and the guiding bolt doesn't seem to do any damage to him as he keeps a hold of Ryvar.
You missed.
I will use my bonus act. Oh wait, I can't cast 2 spells, right? Never mind.
No. You can do a cantrip and a spell, but you can't do 2.
Then that is all I do.
Okay. I'm gonna move way
Sorry,
more
buddy.
behind you, like she was probably
Hey, it's my
off the
fault.
kiss. Okay, next is Ryvar. You are paralyzed, so go ahead and make another constitution
Hey.
throw.
You
Is
got
this
it.
at the start or end of my turn?
End.
Damn it.
Yep.
But hey, 14 plus 2, 16.
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
So you're locked up, and then as you're getting and can feel yourself getting driven away, dragged away, you see Opal come around and try to hit him but fail, and you just shake out of it and loosey-goosey your way out. He still is
Grappling me. Yeah.
as he was pulling you,
Yeah.
but you're no longer paralyzed.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. And then it is Wayla. So she will also basically come next to Opal, see what's happening, and take out one of her javelins and chuck it at this dude. Which dice to use? Come on, Kelpie dice. And that hits. And she does. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Max damage. So she does 9 points of damage. So you see
Nice.
Wayla come running around the corner, see what's happening, pull from her back this javelin and just chuck it and hit square where it bounced off with your spell, square into the shoulder of this creature that's
Nice.
and just gets so mad and just like keeps his claws in him, but is now chittering and a little upset and a little hurt. Oh wait, I have health points on this that I can do.
I like see the javelin coming and just move my head last second.
There they are. Which I think. Nope. Where's the thing? Oh, because I didn't save it. There we go. Cool. That is everybody. So we're now back at the top of the turn order, which is the mean lock. We have Opal.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not sneaking, what you can see behind you from a distance is more. Right now, I think you can only see one clearly. You might see a second, but that's all you can see for now. But you can see more coming.
Since I'm facing that way, can I see them as well? Like, can I see them behind her? No, okay.
Because they're coming from kind of the other side of the mansion, so the mansion is still
gotcha.
blocking your view from them.
Gotcha.
And I only did half their movement. Okay. So this guy is going to just attack you again, Ryvar.
Bring it.
That is a 16 to hit.
Misses.
Cool. So he basically chooses to release you to try to get you to paralyze you again, so you're not fighting him.
Okay.
So he releases and goes to grab you and just like a full-on attack. Terrible idea. But he wants to get the full attack as much as he can.
Yeah.
And as he does, you just like duck just enough that he right over you, and then it's just like, oh fuck.
Amazing.
And so you're no longer grappled.
Okay, fantastic.
And it is Opal's turn.
Okay, I'm going to, can I, if I use a cantrip as my action, can I cast another spell as my bonus action? Or
Yes.
the cantrip has to be the, okay.
That's how that works.
So I'm going to use my action to cast, no, not guiding bolts. What do I want to cast? Sorry. Word of Radiance. So each creature of your choice that you can see within range. So the 3.
What's the range?
It's oh shit, it's 5 feet. Never
yeah,
mind.
it's these are
My bad.
That's still a good distance away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna try a guiding bolt. I'm gonna turn around to the one closest to me behind me.
Okay.
And shoot a guiding bolt. We're gonna roll digitally because my dice are being mean to me. Oh, a nat 1.
Great.
Do I at least miss and hit the other one?
Could you imagine?
What kind of damage does a guiding bolt do? Is it
radiant damage.
Radiant.
Okay. You turn and had seen more coming, so you just kind of whip around and flash your arm that way, and instead of hitting him, you hit the tree next to him, and it's
Okay.
just enough, like straight on radiant damage that's almost searing hot, that it starts to like ember a little bit. And with the right wind, it could turn into a straight fire.
Lovely. And then as my bonus action, I'm gonna cast a spiritual weapon on.
Okay.
You know, let's say the same one because I missed it.
Okay.
And I don't get to attack until my
Yeah,
next turn. Right?
with spiritual weapon, you can attack as soon as you cast it. It says it in the spell.
Oh yeah. Oh cool. Okay. So that is going to be. Oh my god! It was almost another nat one. 13 to hit. God, I'm really not doing well here.
Does not.
All right.
I want to.
She's checking
like
off spell after spell.
I'm just gonna make a little boop for your spiritual weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I can't see it, but I'm sure it's great.
I don't want it to be green. I want it to be pink. So just your spiritual weapons there. Okay. Ryvar, it is your turn.
I see her attacking behind the building, and I can't see what she's attacking, but I can only assume it's another threat. And so I just say, I shout, I've got this one, handle your own. And I turn around and I take out my spear slowly, and I just like sprint forward and like jump Superman thrust this spear towards this creature. And that is going to be a 23 to hit.
Yeah.
That is going to be a 11 points of piercing damage. And at 4th level, I took the feat Piercer. So once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack that does piercing damage, you can re-roll one of the attack dice. But I got a 7. It's a critical hit that I can do an extra one. Never mind. So never mind. So I only do the still 11 points of piercing damage. However, just pissed at this creature, I'm then going to spend a key point to do Fury of Blows, and I do 2 unarmed strikes against it as well. Okay. And for flavor, I like to imagine I jump, thrust the spear, and then just like bounce off my tail, and then just 2 double kicks right to the chest.
Hell yeah.
So the first unarmed attack is 18.
That hits.
The second one is a 14.
That misses.
Okay. 1d4 plus 4. Max damage at 8 points of damage.
Jeez.
So yeah, 8 points is I miss with the one, but I kick him real good with the other one, and then I land down.
He is a hurtin'. Real bad.
And I just look at him as I land, and I say, "Wrong move," and I wait for his counterattack. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. Then it is Wayla, who's now also seeing the ones appearing behind and not wanting them to get to Opal. She's got to reach, so she'll stay 10 feet away from this mean lock. I keep saying meat lock. Mean lock, and take out her glaive and swipe at this guy with that.
Do it, sister.
It's a natural 17 plus a bonus, so that hits. And she does not that dice. This dice. She does 8 slashing damage.
Nice. Badass.
And I think actually, she gets an extra attack.
Nice.
Because of her paladin-ness.
Gotta love a paladin.
Yeah.
And that it also hits. And she's gonna she's gonna pump a divine smite into this as well. So it's
Amen, sister.
10, no, 7, because I can't math. So that's 7 slashing plus what? This is my one. Oh, dang, it's 2d8. Plus another 7 radiant. So that is looking hurt.
Nice.
So she comes up, uses her glaive, just slashes across it, does a cool little flip flare, and then does a back uppercut against it. And as it comes up, the glaive glows this brilliant white and just slashes across the meat lock, and he is looking hurt.
Nice.
Yeah.
What a badass.
All right. Back at the top now, though, and it is the mean lock's turn. This. Where's the thing? Okay. This mean luck is going to run away. But he has a bonus action to teleport away, so you don't get an opportunity attack.
Oh.
So he's gonna use his bonus action to sploop.
Sploop?
Sploop right
No
there.
splooping.
30 feet away.
Dare he sploop.
And then he's gonna continue to run another 30 feet with his movement.
Motherfucker.
Okay, and then this guy. There's a spiritual weapon there. So he's just gonna come and kind of get on the other side, and they're both gonna attack Wayla. That misses. Ooh, that one will hit. 4.
I'm gonna move my piece back. I'm just testing something.
Sure. So she takes 6 damage.
Where did that ruler
Make
go?
the Constitution saving throw, which she fails. So Wayla is now paralyzed.
Oh
So
no.
Opal, you see, Ryvar, you do not. But Opal, you see one come up and just his claws straight up glance off of her armor, and she just kind of smiles and like toughens herself. But as she does, the other one comes in and just gets the claw right between the shoulder plate and her breastplate, and just gets her just enough. It doesn't look like it causes her a lot of pain, but then she immediately just tenses up and just freezes in place.
Great.
Where did my ruler go? Why don't I have a ruler anymore? Am I crazy? Is it in the?
You lost your ruler privileges.
You just used it.
I know. I
didn't you?
literally did. Isn't it supposed to be under the brush?
If it's 2 under the brush. It goes brush, looking glass, ruler.
If you hit snap to corner or the same thing for whatever reason, it like disappears to a little line.
Oh yeah, I see that.
I don't know why it does, but it does.
That's weird. Yeah. Okay. Whose turn is it? Sorry.
It is now Opal's turn.
Okay.
Okay. I seeing her in trouble over here. Can I get right in front of Wayla? Is there enough space there?
Yeah, that's where your spiritual weapon is.
Okay.
But you can.
I'll move it. I'll move it a little.
Okay.
So I'm gonna turn to the one on my right and inflict wounds.
I'm just gonna move my piece to
Hopefully.
give the viewers, because they can only see what I can see, so I'm just moving my piece to give the viewers a little peek over there.
Oh, sure.
What's going on here?
A 15.
That hits. Just hits.
Oh, thank God. Jesus. And that is 12 points of necrotic damage.
Nice.
And then I'll move my spiritual weapon over next to the one on my left, or just like right in front of me.
Yeah,
and attack
it's a
with that.
10-foot block, so like you're
Okay.
probably just like sharing that space without too much difficulty, but could still get to both of them.
Cool. And I will attack with. Also, my spiritual weapon is in the form of, like cat's claws.
Oh, that's dope.
Love it.
Oh, god damn it! It was a 19, and then it rolled you a 1. It's a nat 1.
No.
So the cat's claws like veer up to hit this mean lock, and just kind of go against like his claws, and he just kind of like holds up his claws, and it just kind of like pitter patters against it. That's it.
Great. Oh man.
All right, Ryvar, it's your turn.
All right, I shout, "Oh no, you don't!" And I will sprint my 40 feet, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, right there.
Nice.
And then if I do this correctly, I think. Oh, damn it!
If you were 40, you could get there, right? Because you were dragged to here.
Oh yeah, you're right. I thought I did do it, but I wanted to. Okay, cool. Okay, so then 30. I am now 30 feet away from this creature, and I sprint after it. And I say, "Oh no, you don't!" And I see that it's a little bit faster than me, and I sprint, and I just. And I spray a 5 by 30 foot line of fire towards this creature, and it needs to make a dexterity saving throw. Please fail.
It got a 17.
Oh, dang it. Still does half damage.
Okay.
5 plus 5 is 10, so 5
Nice.
points of fire damage to this creature.
Right. As you sprint, saying, "Oh no, you don't," he kind of looks over his shoulder as he's running and looks at you, and just like you can see the terror in his little beady eyes. He's coming after me, and you just breathe all of this fire in his direction, and it just encompasses him, and until he's like a shriveled up little bug, and he just.
Yes! I just like suck back in my normal my fire air, and I snort out, and just a plume of smoke comes out my nostrils, and then I spit on the ground, and then I turn to I don't actually start moving because that's the end of my movement, but I turn to start actually. Yeah, if they both got paralyzed, that would be bad. Okay, bonus action. I'm going to use another key point for Step of the Wind, which allows me to do my dash action as a bonus action. So I am going to do that, and then at the end... okay, I always forget how this works. So I'm going to look it up.
Yep.
How... because my jump speed is doubled as well when I do Step of the Wind, so I'm going to sprint 40 feet and then jump. So I'm looking to see, there is a rule mechanic on this. In 5e, you can jump a distance equal to your strength score, provided you run up at least 10 feet. Okay, so my strength score is 14, so I can jump in this one moment 28 feet. So I am going to...
We'll round it to 30.
Thank you.
Just for simplicity.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. As I just sprint,
that was me.
and then oh, sorry.
No, yeah. So I was just... So you can get 70?
Yes. So yeah, right there. So yeah, I just sprint forward and then just leap in the air, trying to gain some distance back, and that is the end of my turn.
Nice.
Damn.
Sorry.
Okay. No, that was a great turn. All right. Then it is Wayla, who can only try not to be paralyzed. It was so close.
Did you fail on that?
Yeah. She failed again, so she is still paralyzed and just hangs out. And we're back
in
at
front of her.
the top with these two mean locks. Since they don't see Ryvar yet, they're gonna still hold out hope And so they're gonna go both to attack you, Opal.
No! Not my Opie.
Ooh,
I'll
one
never
gets
call you Opie
a
again.
natural 19, so that'll hit.
Ooh.
And we'll do them first, because that might change what the next person does. So go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw, and take 5 slashing damage.
Okay.
This is not looking good.
A 5.
Oh,
no.
no.
So as the Meanluck on your right comes in and slashes at you and cuts across your chest, you feel something seep into your bloodstream and start to lock up all of your limbs, and you just freeze and you can't move. And this guy will then, instead of attacking now that you're paralyzed, come around to start pulling Wayla in the direction that basically upwards to that road, and we'll still only get like a little bit of distance. So we'll say he kind of flips her around and pulls her a little bit. Since those are 5-foot squares, he only had about half as
Bad
movement.
move.
Yep. He doesn't see you because he's just like, this is what I'm gonna do now.
For sure,
So
yeah, of
he's
course.
just pulling. And then this guy uses his movement to get behind and ready to start pulling Opal, but does not grab you yet. Because he doesn't.
Yeah, better not.
Okay, and then it is Opal's turn. So give me a
Come on, you got it, babe.
Throw.
13.
That saves.
Oh,
it's
amazing.
the end of your turn, but you can like kind of feel the movement coming back and shake yourself a little bit. And can
I like pretend to still be paralyzed so that I don't come off as threatening to the beast in front of me?
Ooh.
Let's see. Nope, 4.
Nope.
Should I goes like, ah!
Wow, I mean, so you were kind of taken aback from the slash and just enough like off balance that when you can move again, you're kind of like, whoop, and like twitch just enough, but like still hold it. But like because you moved, the Meanluck behind you is like,
Yeah.
Can
tell.
Worth a try.
Ryvar, your turn.
All right, well, I'm just gonna sprint straight up there, and partly out of anger of just like being paralyzed that one round, but also out of anger of them like, I don't know if it's these creatures that did it, but something is like getting in my mind and bringing things up that I don't want it to be. So I'm taking my anger out, and with its back to me yet again, I just jump Superman thrust the spear right towards it. That is going to be a 18.
Hell yeah.
And then that will be, oh my god, I'm rolling amazing. 12, the DM never rolls amazing. 12 points of piercing damage. And I'm not going to try to reroll an 8. So that's 12 points of piercing damage to the creature. How's it looking?
As soon as you run up to it, and basically just like, as you run, just like skewer it, it's like still looking away, like holding Wayla, and if someone from like in front of it, they would just see a spear appear through its chest, and it just like in shock looks down, and you rip it out, and it just drops Wayla and falls to the ground.
Yes. I am then going to use, I love that I get to do this. Monks are so cool, but I'm kind of using all my shit right now. I am then going to use my bonus action. I know, right? I am then going to use my bonus action to, make sure I'm doing this right. Yep. To do Fury of Blows, to get 2 unarmed strikes. And I'm going to use my last key point to, as a Way of the Four Elements monk, use, what is it called? Fangs of the Fire Snake. As I, for flavor, I'll say, I I open my mouth and let out a very small jet stream of flame, and it splits in two and starts wrapping around my arms, and I get a range of 10 feet because of this, and then I'm going to attack it twice.
Well, we'll say you move basically a little closer, but you're out of its 5-foot range still, so
Okay,
it won't be
cool.
able to attack you necessarily.
But that was a bad roll. That was a 12.
That misses.
So the second one, 13 plus 6, 19.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So a 19 will hit. So this is as fire damage, not bludgeoning damage. 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 points of fire damage. If I had another key point, I could add a d10 to that, but I don't. I'm all out of key points. So
Well, here we are.
that's the end of my turn.
All right.
And I am now considerably weaker.
Seeing you come through and stab his companion through the chest, because we are back at. Well, I guess.
Yeah, she can see if she's not paralyzed anymore.
She rolled in that one, so she's still.
Yeah.
She's still down.
Come at me, bro.
So he sees you kill his brother, and I'm gonna let the dice decide. Nope. Okay. And he is just like looking at you, looking at his down brethren, and then like kind of when doing so glances like over your shoulder and sees the other charred body at a distance, and is like, "Nah, man."
Yeah.
And he uses his
stupid little teleport shit.
Yep, his teleport, and so he teleports first. This one.
This fucker.
Oh no.
Teleports here. Wait. Yep. And then uses the rest of his normal movement because that's his bonus action to keep running, and he's just like and running. And we're back to Opal.
Okay. I am gonna try. Wait, where is he?
You gotta move your
He's
piece.
here, but you're still paralyzed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, no, you're not.
No.
No, I'm not,
You're trying
right?
to fake it, but yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
But you just gotta move your token
So-
to see him.
Yeah. I'm gonna just pop up right here so I can see him.
Mhm.
And we're gonna try this guiding bolt one more time. It really better freaking work.
Okay.
Oh my god, the amount of times it's been good and then last minute rolled a not. It's a 9.
Oh,
no.
no.
But it was almost a 15, so
Yeah, as you peek around the corner and again, just like as you're moving, sends the bolt at him. He just ducks out of the way as he's kind of moving and running and almost like
He's-
serpentine trying to stay out of your range.
it's too far for me to move my spiritual weapon. I will move my spiritual weapon a little bit closer to like, let me see if I can ping so you can see. So like here, nope, not doing it again.
Just hold down the click. You can only move it 20 feet, right?
Yeah.
So you'd probably move it to there.
Yeah.
On top of the dead body of the other one.
Dead
Yeah.
body?
Yeah.
Great.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Big cat claws on top of the butt.
Hey.
Mhm.
All right, Ryvar, back to you.
Alright, well, with 40 feet of movement, I can get up to him. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, right?
Yep.
So I just sprint forward and I say, I am sick of this! As I sprint forward. How can I tell does he look as hurt as the other ones ever looked?
He does not look as hurt as the one
I didn't think so. So
that
instead
you
of
impaled,
yeah,
but he's close to it.
so instead of attacking, I'm gonna say, let's see how you like it, and I'm gonna try to grapple him.
Okay.
Which I'm not very good at this, but I got a 16 though.
Ooh.
Right.
Athletics, right?
If it's yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to grapple
Yes,
him.
yes, yes. Yeah, if you're grappling athletics. Oh yeah, he got a 7.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You're not going anywhere. It's probably a bad idea.
Because he is like a smaller,
Yeah.
almost a medium. So you have to like kind of bend down and you like really get him like across your shoulders and still have to bend down a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So you're just holding him in place and he's like jittering, like
Okay.
trying to get out of your grasp.
Amazing.
Anything else?
No, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Then we got good old Wayla.
Come on, Wayla.
Nat 20.
Hey!
Like sees all this happening and is like, I need to fight, and then like shakes it off and is ready to go,
Yes.
but has to wait till her next turn. So let's see if he gets his teleport back.
Uh-oh.
He does not. So he will just try to somehow.
I mean, I'm not very good at... Yeah, I mean, I just got
your
a...
grasp.
I got a 10.
You got a 11.
Oh, damn
minus
it.
2. So he just barely manages to use all of the strength he can muster to wiggle out of your grasp, and then we'll just use his just 30 movement to keep running.
Do I have an opportunity attack on him?
Yes.
Yeah.
15.
That just hits.
Yes! So as he goes away, I just take my spear for one last final attempt. Stop running, coward! 3 plus... Was it 4? 7 points of piercing damage. But with my piercer feat, I'm going to re-roll that that 3 to see if I get a little bit higher. I have to use the second one, and it's a 3 again. So that's 7 points of piercing damage.
So as he wiggles out of your grasp and starts running, you, as he runs, follows him with the spear and just gets him at the last like stretch of your arm, but he keeps going. But he's like stumbling, like very hurt, but he is just scared out of his mind, so he's peacing out.
Yeah. That was my opportunity attack. So.
Opal.
Opal is all out of spells. So I'm gonna get like right in front of the dead body here and just take out my crossbow and shoot with my crossbow.
Okay.
And get a modified 20.
Hey!
That's a hit.
You got this. This has got to get to it.
And 7 points of piercing damage.
He had 6 hits.
Yeah!
So you, as a last resort, come around the corner, load your crossbow, pull it out, and fire it. And Ryla, you just like feel the whiz of the crossbow bolt come by you. You barely get out of the way to see it whiz by. And as he's still facing behind, you just like right in the back of his neck, just like, and he just once again falls forward, dead on the ground.
Nice.
Whew.
So, we are over time. For some sort of conclusion to this, there's 2 options.
Okay.
There is a potential to conclude and solve the mystery by staying in town, and then there's the potential to go to the mines.
See, the thing is I feel like we wouldn't think that these 3 creatures...
Yeah, I feel like we would go to the mines.
Yeah, I mean, what we know of, we've seen everything there is to see in the town. Does it look like these... Do we know from the map that was drawn, were these creatures dragging us towards the mines?
Yes.
Then yeah, I think we would head towards the mines.
Yeah, I think we'd go to the mines.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we will say, for the sake of brevity.
Yes. Listen, if it fits, it fits. You know what I'm saying?
For time in a new space, we will head to the mines. Oops. I forget that I can't just click it. I have to move the fun banner.
Yeah, the banner thing, yeah.
And let me put your guys on the map where you can see things.
Mm.
Boop.
I'm blind.
Oh, there we go. I never turned on your vision.
I still don't see anything if I'm supposed to.
No, you haven't yet.
Okay, cool. I'm just making sure.
I was hitting Opal first. Boop. Just for simplicity, I'm giving you night vision, Zach, when you really don't have night vision.
Okay.
But I don't want to add but basically
I'll act like I don't see as well.
Wayla has the light cantrip as a paladin, so we can just say like once you're in the dark,
I do too.
she would, someone would
Yeah.
have some sort of light, a torch, whatever.
Yeah.
So we'll say it's like basically.
Well, and I can produce fire.
Also true.
Yeah.
So
I have a torch. I can
there
just
you go.
light it with my breath.
So you head down about like 100 feet of just cavernous walkway. Very much looks like hand carved straight down this cavern, and then you walk, and eventually you kind of get to a little veer
Just out
in
of
the tunnel.
curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming, was the walk here to the mines like super relaxing and like chill, like restful in a short way?
No.
Okay, yeah. I didn't think so. Just had to,
Very much not.
had
And
to
also,
try.
I would say also that you, on the way to the mine, and almost more so the closer you get to the mine, you guys are still hearing those whispers.
Yeah.
Like seeing movement but not quite catching it, like feeling like someone's watching you, like you're very much still in that
Sense
uneasy
of dread.
sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well,
Let's
yeah,
all remember that our cleric doesn't have any spells left, please.
I'm just going to walk forward a little bit, and I'm just going to peer around this corner here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Me too.
So you can tell that there is a little bit of a veer
Yeah.
off, kind of to the right directly after you pass,
Yeah.
and then like a straight shot ahead of you.
I kind of just take a moment here at this fork, and I just try to see if I can listen or see anything down either end.
I'll do the
Your
same.
perception check.
7. I'm telling you, I got it all out of the way, and I'm gonna be useless now.
23.
Hey,
Damn.
maybe we switch places.
Yeah. Too bad I can't do anything anymore.
Same.
So Opal, down the hallway that like basically burns almost to the same direction you just came from, you don't hear much, but you hear the faintest like almost like chirp squeak sound, like from some sort of critter. It sounds not similar to the meanlocks that you've encountered. It's not the same sound, but it's some like little bit of like communication of some sort of animal. And then through the other direction, you don't really hear anything. It seems pretty silent that way.
I think we should go this way. I hear things.
Lead the way.
Okay. You said it's this way or it's this way?
So
This way?
yeah, that way is where you heard the little
Oh, it opens up to something huge.
No, that's just the nothingness of
Okay.
Yeah. It's like it's the weird break because it's bigger squares.
Oh, there's nothing here.
Yeah, so you walk into this cavern. Do you do like a full scan, like perception checks, or just like walk in and be like, is it empty?
Yeah.
I'll do a perception check.
Well, we'll just, I mean, Zach, if you really want to re-roll, but we'll keep your same perceptions of kind of following the sounds you were
It
just
was even
hearing.
worse.
And great. And as you, and are you guys sneaking? I should have asked that before you. Are you like sneaking at all, or just being a little quiet, but not trying to like full stealth?
Probably little quiet, not full stealth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a trick of the mind, so I don't think I'm trying to stealth.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we will say as you because you had a good enough perception and you were leading the group, and we'll say Wayla is the one with the light at the back of the group.
Mm-hmm.
As you enter this open cavern, Opal, you kind of give a quick scan and you look up and you just see a ceiling full of bats. Just sleeping,
Do they
hanging out.
Seem like regular bats?
They seem like regular old bats.
Hey guys, there's bats.
Yeah, I say we just back up and then go the other way.
Okay.
Does it seem like the bats were the ones making that sound?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
okay.
can like from the ceiling hear like the faint like little chirp from them basically.
So I go back up and I see this next corner.
Yeah,
Yep.
follow.
So this doesn't really take a perception check to know. To your right, you see kind of two pathways. One looks like a collapsed tunnel, which is where you see all the rocks and debris.
Yeah.
And then there is another pathway that then would curve even more to the right, kind of right here.
Yeah.
You can see just barely that something
Yeah.
would curve that way. And then to the left, you don't see anything. They're empty pathways so far, but those are kind of your three pathways you could try.
Do you hear anything, Opal?
Still just
Do
hear the
I?
bats. Mm-mm.
Let's all three go one of the three ways.
Sure.
No, that's a
Splitting up the
horrible
party is a
idea.
great idea.
You said it.
I was joking. Come
Okay,
on.
well, don't say things.
The
that don't
others,
mean them.
the others aren't here. We know not to do that. I think that we should go towards the collapse.
Okay.
Okay. Doot, 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 doot.
Okay, you walk more towards the collapse. Still don't really hear anything besides your own like soft footsteps
Yeah.
and Wayla's chain mail kind of clicking as she attempts to be as quiet as possible. And you see a collapsed tunnel. You don't really see any way through it. You can assume this is the collapsed tunnel
Yeah.
that kind of started this whole thing. And then you see a long pathway with seemingly a bunch of kind of verging pathways from it down to kind of the south part.
Yeah, I would say I would just go right here and see if I can peer down. Like, peer down this way. Like, yeah, right there. And just kind of see if I see anything down either of these.
So you peer down, don't see anything, empty tunnels, not too much happening.
Where are we supposed to go? Can I, like, see if there are any, like, tracks of creatures or any, like, if it looks like any of these tunnels are more traversed?
Give me a survival check.
7?
Because it's mostly stone,
Yes.
you don't really see many tracks. I will say once you get kind of past where does it start? Actually, kind of where you are right now. So as you come from the collapsed tunnel and down this way, the walls around you start to change a little bit. They look
They're not
like
carved.
they're covered. They look carved, but like
Oh.
too perfectly carved. And so they're very like dome-like, very smooth, and they almost look like they have like some soft covering. And if you look a little closer, you don't, without touching or with touching, whatever you feel like, it's almost like there's this like dark colored moss covering the whole area that you're in, and it gives you this eerie sense of like being in a fully carpeted room that just starts absorbing sounds. So you go from this very echoey tunnel to just like even more silence.
In this silence, do we hear any more noise? Any new noise?
Not where you are currently.
I don't know where to go, Opal. I've decided last times.
Oh, gosh. Is there any? Does every way we go seem to have this like mossy?
Yeah. Unless you go back the way you came towards the more like makeshift tunnels, it seems the perfect circular moss covered tunnels.
Okay. Let's go this way. Straight.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to step right on top of you there.
Anything?
As you walk closer in the direction you're going, you start to hear more whispers and feel more of that uneasy feeling. And the whispers sound like they're coming from the direction that you're headed.
So like down through here?
Right.
Yeah, they definitely seem more south. And then when you get to this spot, those whispers sound more like they're coming from the left. Or no, from your right. Sorry.
So this way.
Yeah, the way that... Nope, sorry.
This way.
Yes, right as you're looking at the map. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What about here? Do we hear anything? Which out of these three directions?
You hear a little bit more. It's still pretty like as loud as the whispers have been in your head, and
Yeah.
the most the uneasy feeling has been.
Ugh.
And you can assume that it's probably coming from the right. And as you kind of glimpse in there, Opal, you can just see that there's some like pillars which you hadn't seen before, which kind of makes you think this is a more cavernous room you'd be about to enter. And you can see just the edge of almost something that looks like a stone table. And that's definitely not a natural just rock. It's like placed there for a reason.
We should stealth forward from here.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I just kind of like turn this corner into this cavern stealthing. And I get a 8.
I rolled a 14. If that helps us at all.
I've wasted all my rolls.
Well, Wayla got a nat 20 on stealthing somehow.
Hey!
Wow.
She's
really
taking
scared.
up the rear of like really just like walking behind you. She wasn't ready for this kind of mission.
Yeah.
She was ready just to like fight some normal bandits or something. So she's like extra creeping behind you. And as you guys turn the corner, and because you do it kind of loud, you don't really get a surprise attack, but you see 3 mean locks whip their head around.
Oh no.
And they're in this chamber with you.
Oh fuck.
Why are you not doing it? There we go. And a quick, also what you see in the room is what you almost get immediately upon stepping in, which it's kind of smelled dank and gross a little bit, but just the foulest of scent is just coating this room. And you just look around, and on these slabs, you just see bodies and like decayed bones and blood stains. Like this is clearly a room that bad shit has gone down. And that's kind of the first vibe you get until you can investigate more. But everything's still moss covered. Everything's a high cavernous room now. But please roll initiative.
Ugh, God.
Oh, this isn't gonna go well for me.
I know, same.
And are you still good on
JMO's
time?
gonna be like, sorry, they couldn't join any of the other mysteries.
And new
Die.
characters.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
I know we're
Yeah.
going way over. And,
Yeah.
But trying to get us to a conclusion.
Totally, no, I understand. I think we're about to die anyway, it's fine.
Yeah, honestly.
Too scared. Opal.
14.
Ryvar.
14. My dex is higher than yours, though, I'm sure. 19.
I'm sure it is. Yes, it is.
All right. Okay, well, the mean locks, of course, got a freaking nat 20.
Of course.
So-
Of course.
They will just kind of whoop,
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop.
whoop, 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 whoop. They will all just rush forward, try to capture, paralyze y'all.
Paralyze y'all.
Left to right. That is a on Ryvar. I think a 12,
Miss.
16,
Miss.
ooh, and a 23.
Miss. No, I'm just kidding.
Miss, I'm beefy now. Okay, 2 out of the 3 miss, and so you're just able to kind of deflect them and bat them away. You're ready for it, ready to fight again. But that third one, just like from the side, just manages to just get you. You take bloop, 5 points of slashing damage, and please give me a Constitution saving throw.
20, not natural.
Okay, so knowing what is about to happen, you're able to kind of brace yourself after feeling the impact of the claw, and you just kind of shake it off, and you resist the paralyzation.
I fart a little.
Fair.
All right. Ryvar, you're next.
All right. I am just going to swing my spear around, and I'll attack this guy right here, the one
Okay.
to the furthest left.
I will also note that these meanlocks specifically look just like a little bit smaller, a little bit like they were hanging back for a reason.
Okay,
of
gotcha.
like, so they're not quite as beefy as their compatriots.
Well, does a 13 hit these guys?
It does not.
Okay.
It's not the same kind of like
yeah.
natural armor, as you may
Yeah.
call it. They just might not have as much other things.
And then I'm just gonna bonus action, just jump and kick one of them, just one time though.
Okay,
Or the same guy. 17.
that hits.
And that'll be 6 points of bludgeoning damage to the face.
Cool. And you're hitting the guy that's kind of on
For
his own on the side.
furthest left, yeah.
Cool. So 6 points. Got him. Okay. Cool.
I am then, if you don't mind, just
No,
going
go
to
for
use my movement to just not get out of their range, but just kind of make some room for Wayla and for Opal to kind of get a little bit closer.
Yep.
Would you say that I am within 5 feet of any of them?
Yes. So you are within 5 feet of the two that are basically like.
Is
right
this map
next
5
to
feet or 10 feet?
I think
Just out of curiosity.
5 feet.
Okay, cool.
Am I within 5 feet of Wayla?
Yes. So Wayla's right behind you. Was
We don't know
of
her.
Bringing up the rear.
Oh,
And then
each
the other
creature
two.
of my choice. Okay, so I can choose not to hit her. So I'm gonna cast Word of Radiance
Okay.
at both of
Yeah.
the what are they called? Why did I just forget?
Mean locks.
Mean locks.
Lock.
They have to make Constitution saving throws.
Oh. Okay. That's a fail because it's only a 5, and that's a 12.
It's also a fail.
Okay.
Nice.
So the first one takes 5 points of radiant damage, and the second one takes 3 points of radiant damage.
Okay. I'm gonna have the one in front of you take 5, and then the one diagonal take 3.
Dope. That's it.
Cool. Then Layla gonna step up.
Step up.
And attack the one that's diagonal, and so use her glaive to kind of reach through people and try to get the one closest to you, well, in front of you, Opal. Yeah. Yikes. No, she can't squeeze through. I was gonna say, oh, maybe she can flank. She can't. That's not a thing. So she misses, but she gets 2 attacks,
Nice.
and that one hits. So she will give them, max damage with 13.
I don't know if she's used all of them, but you can do a Divine Smite on the second attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a Divine Smite, which should, unless I roll terribly, get rid of the rest because it's 2d8. Wow.
Nice.
Okay, good. Phew. They had 3, and the first one I rolled was a 1, so I was like,
Oh,
if I
no.
roll 2 ones, but I got 4.
Okay,
so
dope.
I mean, luck is now dead.
She's badass.
So yeah, she slides out from behind. Opal takes her glaive, just smashes it down the first time, and he just ducks out of the way, and then she resets herself and does like a full slice across the abdomen, and just like bug guts just start spilling out all
The guts.
as it falls down. And dead. Save. We are back to the top with the mean lock. Seeing Ryvar and Wayla do the damage, one's gonna attack one and one's gonna attack the other.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have the one in front of Wayla attack her. Let's use this die. Maybe it'll miss.
Oh, I just wish I had some key points.
Which misses. Glances off her armor. And then the other one, yikes, will attack Ryvar and get 17 plus
Hits
4.
for sure.
Yep. So it takes only 3 points of slashing damage. And give me that constitution.
Oh no, 11.
That is the DC.
Yes!
Just barely. Once again.
Yeah.
Just like try to brace yourself, and you can like almost feel you're tensing up, and you're like, no, 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 and you're shaking off, and you are now paralyzed. And so you get to go.
Okay, I'm fucking over you, dude. I'm going to... Yeah, I'm just going to attack the same one that I attacked the first time. Spin my spear around my head and just go for a slice across his abdomen. That's a 10.
It misses.
So I'm going to just then use that momentum. Go ahead.
I mean, you'll get an opportunity attack, but you could flank for advantage.
No. I don't want an opportunity attack, so I'm going to continue the momentum of the mist to kind of like twist my body and flip around and use my tail to do the unarmed extract attack on the second one, and that is despite how cool it was a 8. So
Damn. So you spin it around and spin your spear across the abdomen, and he just barely kind of like wiggles his way back and it's airball right in front of him, and so you're
focused
like,
on being cool.
And you turn around and like use your tail to just kind of like bitch slap him across the face.
Yeah.
But you were aiming for like his brethren, which are just a little bit taller, so he just kind of sails right over his head.
Yeah, I just I'm so mad. Yep, I prepare for the next attack. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. Opal.
I'm a little bit tired of my magic failing me, so I'm gonna take out my mace, and I'm gonna attack the one right in front of me, or diagonally to me with my mace.
Get him.
Ooh, 19 to hit.
Nice.
That does it.
And 6 points of damage.
Hey. Great. So you just take out your mace, and they have seen you only use magic, so he's not really expecting it, and you just right on the head, and just like see stars a little bit, blinks away. Wayla is up. She gets
Swing away, Wayla.
a
Wail away, wail.
dirty 20 to hit. We'll see what she does. Hada.
Yeah.
Just barely. She gets exactly what she needs. She swings her glaive and just carves right into the neck between like the clavicle, and just like 6 inches down into it, into this guy, and he is now also dead.
Yes.
-12. All right. And since she has 2 attacks, she'll turn to the other dude.
Yeah, for sure.
And do the same. She's off balance. She swings and almost gets her glaive like stuck in this guy. So as she pulls it out, she's like a little off balance, goes to swing at the other one and just completely misses.
Nah, she's still a badass.
Sad
You tried.
Yeah. That's it.
All right.
We're back to the mean lock. He doesn't really have anywhere to run to.
Yeah.
So despite looking afeared, he's gonna just try to paralyze you, Raylar, once again. He got a 16.
Misses. 17 AC.
So he's kind of quaking and just like kind of flails out as like a almost get away from me, but you're able to just kind of like bat it away. And he that's what he'll do.
Okay.
He'll quake in his boots.
I use that moment to kind of like dodge, and then use the momentum of coming back to really hope that I can skewer this creature. That is a 15 plus 6, 21.
Nice.
And that is going to be, that's a 2. I'm going to re-roll that with my piercer feat. That's a 5. Plus 4 is 9 points of piercing damage.
He's
And then
still
if it's
standing.
okay,
but
so
very
unarmed strike as I pierce him with the spear, and then try to kick him in the chest as I pull the spear out.
nice.
And that is gonna be 9.
Heck yeah. So as you
No, 9 to hit.
Oh.
Nope, 9 to hit.
So you just kind of kick him, but not enough to do damage.
Yeah.
Just enough to get your spear
Get my
out.
spear out, yeah, which I'm fine with.
All right.
And then I just shout, "Will someone kill this thing?"
I will.
I was like,
I'll bop right
Opal.
around. Right next
Step on
to
the
him.
crunch
Yeah,
of the dead
crunch,
body.
Crunch, crunch. And I'm gonna attack again with my mace.
oh no.
It's a nat 1. I think that's 4 nat 1s tonight.
It's been rough. It's been rough.
Yikes.
So you crunch across these bean locks, and then it kind of grosses you out. You're like, and it's kind of on your shoulder. And you're like, "Ugh," and you're just a little like wigged out, and you just swing and a miss.
Come on,
Come on,
Layla.
Layla.
Finish us off here.
Okay, so that's 16, so it hits.
Nice.
Yes.
She's got it for sure.
Yes, she does.
I think I should no matter what. No, okay. Well, to roll decent. And then pump a divine smite if not. Okay, I rolled decent.
Okay.
So Wayla turns, same deal, just like right into the clavicle. You're dead.
You did.
You're dead.
First things first is
You're the realist.
immediate danger is out of the way. Are we still in turn order?
No.
Okay, I'm just gonna go to this opening that I see and see if I like hear any more creatures from this direction or see any more signs of creatures in this direction.
You give me a perception check.
Yeah. 17.
Nice. As you go to that part of this cavern and kind of listen down the halls, you can first see a cavern that has some pools in it that you hadn't seen before. And so you just kind of hear like general like water dripping sounds, like it's being collected from somewhere.
Yeah.
But what you do notice is you don't hear whispering anymore.
Mm.
As you're listening for actual sounds, you notice in your head you don't really hear the whispers. You don't really feel that uneasy hair standing on the back of your neck feeling. You feel like it's still like eerily quiet because of the moss,
Yeah.
but you don't feel that extra sense of dread that you have been.
Looking around at the bodies in this room, does it look like they are... You said they were in various states of decay. I mean, does it look like they are anywhere from 70 years old to, like, more recent than that?
You do see varying states of decay.
Yeah.
You see on one slab one that looks much more fresh than it would have if it's been sitting there for 70 years.
Yeah.
And then you see a couple that like clearly have been like sitting there for 70 years. Well, one that's been sitting there for 70 years, and then the other pillars are either empty, and then there's two more with like maybe 10, 20. So it's like maybe fresh within the last like even year or so.
Yeah.
And then like closer to 5 to 10, 10 to 20, very old. And then there's just bones like against the wall piled up.
Do we see any
Are
like
there-
writing or symbols anywhere?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Give me an investigation check.
17.
Nice. So as you're looking around, looking at the bodies, trying to see the various things, you notice one body that looks very decayed still has a very ornate ring on their finger. This ring, thinking back, you didn't do a full investigation of the mayor's house, but you remember seeing a similar symbol on the door of the mayor's house, of just something that kind of stood out to you. This person doesn't really seem anywhere recognizable as to who they may have been. But what you do see is next to them on the ground is a notebook, whereas there's kind of not really any personal possessions anywhere else that you can see besides just like jewelry and random things that were worn by the person. This is the one of the few like personal possessions that you can see around. Other than that, you don't see too many discerning symbols, figures, anything like that to really give a clue for anything.
I pick up the notebook and toss it to our knowledge domain cleric. And then I try to respectfully take the ring.
Okay.
Like I don't try to like I'm trying not to like break the hand if possible.
Sure. It's very pretty slender fingers, and
Yeah.
so the ring is just bigger than the bone, so you can guess that it wasn't too fat of fingers.
Yeah.
And it's pretty easy to slide off. And is still in great condition for the ring. And
Is there any
you can
like
just put it
other than the
against
symbol? Is there any engraving like on the inside?
Nope, it just has the symbol on the outside.
Okay. One more last thing. Is there anything else on this man? Like anything in his person?
Nope. You can see that there's maybe was once some sort of clothing, but it's hard to recognize anything besides that. And again, like maybe there was like a bracelet, but besides jewelry, the only thing on their person was this notebook that has fallen to the ground.
Yeah, and I have to toss that to Opal.
Do you want me to investigate it or Arcana or history?
Go ahead and give me investigation. And then for Ryvar's investigation, was it mainly like walls and bodies? Were you doing like bones and debris? Were you doing like hidden under things, secret passages? Are you?
I'm not looking for secret passages, but yeah, I'm looking for anything that would be recognizable to a loved one or anything. You know what I mean? Like anything that would tell us who these people are. Anything that looks personal and or salvageable.
Okay. We'll say if you go through the bodies and the unfortunate piles of bones and such,
which I would go through, I think.
You find a lot of gold pieces and copper pieces and money if you want to take that.
I do.
You do. You find about upwards of like 50 gold pieces of just money just from coin purses that are now just there.
Yeah. This can go back to Lucas and Astra.
A nice ivory
horn.
A nice ivory horn, you said?
Yeah, a nice ivory drinking horn that someone just happened to be carrying around when they were seemingly abducted.
Okay.
And it has, because of where you are, platinum details like around the top of it and around the very point of it, where you would have usually the more metal ornate thing. It's actually platinum. So it looks very nice. Probably, if I had to guess, it's probably worth about 120 gold pieces. Okay. And then you find a set of goggles that don't look like normal goggles. I will. This is what they look like. Don't read what they are because you wouldn't know right away.
Yeah, I won't.
But you can tell that they're not just
your
everyday, day-to-day goggles.
How do I look?
Weird.
Like a bird.
I'm a dragon owl. Roar.
Yeah.
Roar who?
Roar who? Oh, gosh, that was good. And I just kind of like, I don't take them off, but I just like put them on my forehead.
And then Opal, you take a couple minutes to start scanning through this book, and it is a journal, and it is the journal of the mayor of Vermilion, and it accounts everything from their time as mayor. So a lot of the first pages you skip through, and you can kind of find the key moment of the mine collapse, and it tells you very similarly what the book did. Mine collapse, people started to disappear. This mayor was very stubborn. She refused to leave. She wanted to figure out what it was. She sent her wife and 2 kids away to try to protect them, but refused to leave herself.
Mm.
And some of the last journal entries spoke of having very frequent nightmares, hearing things, seeing things that weren't there, and a general sense of dread that was overcoming her until the end of the journal. Um, at the back of the journal, you'll see pages torn out of books, which, however you feel about that, I don't know. But you'll see folded up pages from other books, and one includes a page about meanlocks and fey creatures from the Fey Wild. And these creatures become part of this plane out of fear and dread and travesties,
Oh,
and they just
wow.
appear into the world and start feeding on that fear and playing mind tricks on the people to make them more and more and more afraid and fearful until they
So
can
the
get them
collapse of the mind
alone.
was just a genuine collapse of the mind.
Yep.
Wow.
And they'll get them alone to the point of when they're really like in their heads and fearful, and that's when they'll kidnap them, take them back here, torture them, continue to build on that fear until they actually become a mean lock.
Oh.
Whoa.
So
Um.
some of these mean locks that you've seen are just additional
Yeah.
villagers, and so the 6 that you've seen here are maybe the 6 that are here. They could be elsewhere, they could be, who knows.
Two things. As were you? Were you like reading that out loud, perchance?
Yeah.
One, as she's talking about that, I ask if the mayor mentions where she sent her wife and kids. Is
No.
there? No, it doesn't. Damn, too bad. Does it at least say the name of the mayor anywhere in the journal? Like on the front page or something, like this journal belongs to?
Yeah, I think, God, what is, it's, I think Lee, Lei, and Duvazin is her
In the
name.
epilogue that is off stream, we may want to stop by the mayor's house to see if we can find anything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
In the epilogue, obviously.
Right,
Yeah.
And then just as she's continuing to say all that, and I'm like, oh wow, that's so crazy. I just want to. I think Wayla already helped me with one. I want to take the head of one of the creatures and the claws of one of the creatures. I don't want to take
Okay.
the full creature, but I want to take the head and the claw just to bring back,
Yeah.
Sure.
We did something.
evidence, information. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Easy enough. You can kind of keep it and let it drain for a little bit of
Yeah.
gross bug stuff, and then wrap it up and put it in a bag, in a satchel, whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
and not get gunky all over everything.
Gotta dust off my knees, dust off my elbows and everything. Alright, well, the two most competent. And Wayla.
We did it.
I knew we
Well-
would do it.
Wayla, what's your thought of our journey so far?
This is some pretty fucked up shit.
Yep.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Can we get the fuck out of here, please?
Please.
Yep.
I hate it.
Let me leave.
Do you take the journal with you, or do you?
Oh, I do. She doesn't.
Okay.
I would take the journal to. I want to specifically make sure I take it back to the library.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, for sure. We're bringing all this
Yeah.
back to the library.
Yeah.
Right.
But I would like to. I mean, we don't have to role play through it, but I would
Right.
like to go to the mayor's house just to see if I can find out anything about like a hometown or anything where like if the mayor's children and wife did survive, I would love to get this ring to them.
Yeah.
Sure. You search the house. You can find the library where you could see open books with pages torn out of it. You can see kind of kids' rooms, some with stuffed animals, so you can kind of see that there were 2 kids that were living here.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that really says, anything of where they may have been from,
Yeah.
where they went. There's no really clue as to what kind of even became of the rest of her family.
Unless Lucas knows where they are, Ryvar is going to spend the rest of the Candlekeep Mysteries looking for this family.
Noted. Easter eggs to plant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then I think we head the fuck out of there.
GTFO.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you leave, and as you leave, again, you don't hear whispers. You don't have that feeling. You don't see any more weird motions or people from your past, or creepy anything as you leave. It's still a creepy town just because it's an abandoned, disheveled town.
For sure.
But you take everything back to Candlekeep.
Stopping by Marin.
Yes,
Yeah.
you stop by Marin first. Lucas is incredibly grateful. You bring him to tears. He doesn't know what to say.
I give
Just saying
Lucas.
thank
I give Lucas 25 gold, and I give Astra 25 gold. The 50 gold that I found in the amongst the bodies.
Yeah. Astra graciously accepts it. They give you a big hug. Tears also coming out of their eyes. They thank you profusely for fixing what became of their town. Jokes about maybe going back one day if, fixing it up, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Lucas just surprisingly doesn't say much. He was at a loss for words, and just kind of blubbering at what you guys
I
were able to do.
I give him the necklace as well.
Great. Even more tears.
Yeah.
Even more distraught. And then, yeah, without issue, you guys head back to Candlekeep. You once again say you're here for Tellus. They come this time to meet you at the gate instead of taking you back to the library.
Good.
So you're just kind of ushered back into the gate. You give her all the information of everything that just happened. She graciously takes the journal. She asks the guard to take the mean lock things, but is very intrigued by them and will immediately start researching more about them and trying to understand them and seeing if they did escape more, where they could be, things like that. But she is eternally grateful. She says that you guys can expect payment from the mining organization that reached out to her originally. She's given them, or will give them, all your information. And so because it's a platinum mine and they really wanted to redo this, they will pay handsomely. So you guys get 1,500 gold each.
The other party members are gonna be mad they weren't here. They're not getting a cent of that bitch.
I know. I was like, I'm gonna give 300 gold. Oh, I guess it's to 2 people.
Suck it, losers. I would also.
Layla refuses any part of it. She will not take any of the money. Even
I wouldn't have given it to her. No.
She's like, no.
But what I will do, genuinely, is I would want to tell Tellus that, I don't know what their version is of it in Candlekeep. Baldur's Gate, we had our own version, but Wayla deserves an accommodation and and a promotion, if not even for her fearless, skills and abilities that she showed us.
We couldn't have done it without her.
Tella says that she'll pass that on to the gate warden and see what can be done about that. And Wayla's very gracious for the kind words. And then you are offered to stay in Candlekeep, rest up, have food.
Yeah, I definitely go to the baths.
Basically. So yeah, you can baths. They have accommodation for you. They have food for you, so you can just kind of stay the night,
Nice.
and hang out here, and maybe something will happen there in the next adventure.
Ooh.
See.
All right.
That was fun.
That was so
Thank
much
you,
fun.
J-Mo.
Yeah, that was a blast.
Thanks, J-Mo. I really appreciate it, and thanks you guys for watching and staying a little bit later than normal if you did.
Yeah.
So much appreciated. We're gonna come back this Sunday at 2 p.m. Central. We will be back with the full party for the aftermath of last week's session. So we'll see if Chad is gonna get his head ripped off by a Goliath. Yeah, so tune in next Monday or next Sunday at 2 p.m. Central, and then and then next Monday, yes,
And also, yes.
yeah, August 1st will be the next Candlekeep Mystery, and we will definitely have more party members then, and if not, you'll have the two most competent ones.
Exactly, of course.
So,
and we will be going back in time, so we can
cool.
see who Opal and Ryvar were dissing the entire time.
And you can see why we were calling them us the competent
Probably.
ones. Well, thank you, JMO, so much for DMing. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And you come on, you do it.
Oh yeah. And as always, everybody say bye.
Bye.